Futures looking to extend yesterday's rally back to the upside so far this morning on the back of more positive earnings reports from a number of individual names. That's how the overall Nasdaq is looking right now. We did come off yesterday. If you took the afternoon off, possibly into the close, chopped around here this morning a little bit. That was an interesting move to the downside that was quickly bought back up. Here we are floating back higher. Lots of individual names to talk about this morning. Snapchat on a lot of people's minds, back to $9 and then some after the close yesterday. We're hovering just below that, 880 coming into play. $400 million deal with Perplexity going to be the main source of information and processing for Snapchat going forward. So that maybe brings them into the equation as far as AI is concerned. QCOM, big mover over the past couple of weeks, downside after the close this morning. Here we are back higher once again this morning. A lot of, we're getting some Canadian GDP data coming up this morning and then Friday morning as well. We'll talk a little bit about the lack of data still coming out of the US. No resolution to this government shutdown yet. We did get Challenger jobs data this morning that came in a little bit lower than expected. Market did give a little bit of a downtick on that, bit of a head fake, but nothing's wrong. Everything's fine. We're back higher once again at this point.
Everything's great.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch to talk about. A lot of earnings names today, guys. Good morning. DoorDash down markedly here, 11 2/3 to start the morning. The other way around, as Brendo mentioned, Snap to the tune of 20%. But you've got also Elf Beauty down 21.5% as that continues to sell off aggressively. Obviously, the monster Robinhood up 285% year to date. Flat here to start, but a good report. Brendo, CoreWeave also striking a deal. And yes, our very good friend Jensen out making comments with respect to AI, saying basically in no uncertain terms that China will win the AI race, obviously trying to stimulate demand for his products out there and maybe influence the current administration to allow him to sell Blackwell.
And the conversation, or maybe start the conversation that needs to happen in around that. So we'll see what Nvidia rolling over here a little bit right now. We did get back to 200 briefly there this morning, but looking a little bit weak going into the close yesterday. We had that really heavy selling. You can see the volume at the bottom there really led the semiconductors to the downside into the close. Part of the reason for the overall sell-off to end the day yesterday, guys. But a long list of individual names this morning. Going to be one of those days we have to really filter things through. Good morning.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Like, there's so many names that moved on earnings double digits. Then you throw in, it turns out that like months ago, SoftBank wanted to pick up, we're interested in picking up MRVL to basically partner them up or combine them with ARM, and that's going to move on that. Disney finalizing partnership with DraftKings, that actually was up double digits. Can DraftKings hold a game? Like, seriously? This was up almost double digits, actually over double digits at one point, now giving half of it back. There's going to be a little of something for everybody. We'll make sure that we keep the locator up, the stock visualizer up, so we can see what you guys are interested in. Datadog is already one of the earnings names that people are harping about. Why? Because it's up 22%. Like, the number of double-digit names today is insane. Unfortunately, DraftKings doesn't hold. It was easily one of those. But the other story that we can't lose sight of was the relief rally that we had yesterday, and then the liquidity event that happened in Nvidia off those Jensen Huang comments, which he's walked back, but that was hefty. Like, nothing was pulling back. It actually managed to pull back some of the market, which was drifting higher pretty much all day long on what was a dip by Wednesday. This stock will be on watch just because of that. And then, of course, Elon's gonna, the vote's gonna go his way at 4 o'clock, after 4 o'clock, I think. So, you know, that might not be that big of a story. Like, it's a story if it doesn't. If the pay package doesn't pass, I think it's a bigger story.
Yeah, I like the chances of that going through. IONQ, I mean, today up 5%. You know, another good earnings beat there for IONQ, and we'll see what winds up happening here with them. Obviously, getting forward here up to 58, 59 break looks pretty good for IONQ, and I tweeted it out early, man. I mean, my biggest winner probably. Maybe even, I don't know if of the year or not, because we had got some of this 75, then we got some more in the 60s. But MRVL, yeah, what a great story that is here today. Trying to get back up. I don't know why this chart on the daily didn't go, but we're now back above 100. It's been here before. It's really what a great couple of days there now for MRVL. So we've been to $100. We didn't. I guess we didn't get here. We got to 97, 98, and then pop forward. So now we'll have to wait to see. And when we were buying it down here, we did say 100 was our target, but now we're getting a little greedy. So let's see if there is some truth to all this SoftBank stuff, and we can get back up here. If they found value, so did Katina Capital down here, and we bought some more. So we like that stock, and that's actually woke up to a nice present there. The only thing that we didn't dip by that we probably should have was Alibaba. I mean, this has been on my radar for a very, very long time. And, you know, once it broke through this 150, I mean, very, very long time, probably since mid-September. Once it broke this 150, we wanted it. It didn't come back in to fill us enough as we did not get long here at 152. And then it just came back in just on all that nonsense in the last little while, 158. And now you have Alibaba starting to bust out a little bit on a robo-taxi story with Xpeng. So, yeah, bouncing off of that 165. It's only up to 170. There's still room to grow here on this name. And I actually put BABA and IONQ as two top trades here for my note today. I like both of these names. So just working on all of that. Everything is great. Yeah, it looks like we'll probably have a cat now. And you were wrong, Baron named it.
Oh, Baron got the win?
Oh, yeah, that was a big fan.
And what was the...
He chose Alex. So
Alex?
I don't know. It's
Alex
a girl. It's a girl cat too.
Yeah.
So Gia likes it. She's calling her
Alex
Ali
goes
and
both
everything, and there's some real nice pictures and everything like that. So it's been really good. So we're excited to enter a new member into the family there. Baxter came through last night too, so that was really nice coming for Waterloo on his last semester. So that was fun, and driving him back downtown at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, so he can go to some parties.
Hey, he's got to live.
What
man.
a life! What a life!
He's got to live.
What a life!
Him,
What's up to Adam James there? He wants to talk
chat.
about STGW. I don't even. What is STGW? Come on,
I'm hoping it halts. You'll see why later.
Come on, Stagwell. You know about this name already?
No, I know. I said it. Hope it halts because I want to be able to show something off. But
yeah, we have the halt bands.
The halt bands should be in the system. So when we show a level 2. If we get to the bands, they should show up. I have Neo up here, but we can put Stagwell. No, I actually don't know about this one yet.
Up 54%.
But it's up 54%. It's on 30 million in volume.
Yeah, so you have, if you come over here to the daily over here, you have some top candles here. Andre, if we just show this and then we'll get out of here. 750, right? So we've already been back up here last August, so not even August of 25, August of 24. These were the highs. We did bust through for a couple minutes there and then right back down and right back in. So for me, at these levels, we talk about it, man. I mean, I'm doing it every day. We took off some Palantir, maybe take off some Nvidia around $200. If you got something like Stagwell and for some reason you're in this name, what about right here? Right, $757 looks like a good little level for me, and that's no surprise. That seems like where we're holding it. When there's a gap, I like to play the VWAP. You're now underneath it, so that's a little bit of a risk spot for me. So thank you for the super chat, but you're underneath VWAP right now. That's never a great sign. We don't want the sellers to win. You want the buyers to win, and right now there's too much pressure on this name. So I'd say wait back for $6 as we get going. Man, I hope I'm not getting sick. My voice is not recovering here today.
Stagwell was earnings, actually.
Oh, Stagwell was earnings.
Yeah, so it was earnings.
Okay, so that's a good reason.
That's actually a good. That's a pretty solid reason. Small-ish float, like only a 95 million float, and 8% of it is short. So it's not a gigantic float, and a decent amount of it short, and you've got earnings, which is usually a pretty decent catalyst. So this is, like Sean said, it's below VWAP. Look, I don't. When I said I want this thing to halt, it's just because I want to confirm that we can see those bands and see it in action and see if we can figure out, some ways to utilize that within a trading strategy. I know Sharif will be excited for that because he looks at these type of names heavily. So volume pretty solid, liquidity looks good, but it's been trending down from those highs. Let's get back up to the desk. There is so much to cover today because you mentioned IONQ. D-Wave reported this morning. So it wasn't just it was IONQ last night.
I thought it wasn't going as well, or is it?
It's trying to follow. So it's flat right now. Like this one is like almost a catch up. We have so many things we could talk about. It's almost like a catch up play, like rounded bottom, break out this little 32.5 high. But that's only, to me, that's only if IONQ goes and this plays like that catch up game is what I'm looking for on QBTS. So many things moving today. You really have to iron down your list. Let's get back up to the desk. Lots to cover.
he's doing.
We're just talking about Robinhood a little bit here. Another one that we can get into here coming up. A few other earnings names to get through right now. Just saw this one made a new low, just got through $400, but is bouncing back up. HubSpot, not a lot of volume here so far this morning, but huge downside move as well, along with Dash, another one we can talk about here a little bit. 208, trying to hold right now on a little bit of a bounce, but again, it's so spread out this morning. Volume might be the key to look at here.
Yeah, Brendo, definitely. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. Yeah, Dash, mixed reaction here. They missed on EPS and they raised their spending outlook. 55 pennies per share EPS, missing the 69 expected. Revenue 3.45, just ahead of that 3.66. But they did take home money. Net income 244 million, better than the 162 they took last year. Despite the revenue strength, though, margin compression and higher future investment plans, Brendo, weighed heavily on investment as they were looking for more cost efficiencies.
I was just trying to grab this real quick. I'll get it after. Robinhood, their earnings call last night was actually live streamed on X, which I think we could potentially start seeing more and more of. I mean, Tesla's kind of been playing around with that over the past couple of years with their investor days, live streaming, things like that. But yeah, Hood guys with a video live stream of their earnings call last night was kind of cool to watch.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, but you know what would actually be cool? How is it that, and look, most of the afternoon yesterday, most of the day, people were excited for Robinhood earnings. This is the name that was probably garnering the most attention, I think for good reason. And then the aftermarket show, the market recap, were basically, sort of focused on the big name. And you come in today, okay, so it did move down, but it's exactly flat. Like it was a good quarter. The only thing that missed, of course, was that crypto number. Everything else was pretty good. And it just seems like, well, when you're up this much, we're not doing anything with you. Like this was set up, I guess it's still set up to break away from 145. I mean, 150 is big level, but maybe the 145 and the 150, it's just shocking to me. I guess it shouldn't be that shocking, but it is surprising to me that you're not getting much action here. I figured if they didn't think it was good enough to break it out, the stock would probably just be down 5 to 10%. Like everything else that has not been absolutely perfect. But yeah, Robinhood, a bit of a nothing burger. And on a day where, I mean, there's probably at least 24 names and maybe a dozen of what most people would usually follow, or at least things that we usually track, that are double digits today. And are movers. Like they're all over the place. Like Moderna as well. Someone was saying was up 10%. We actually just got a super chat about Moderna. Like that's going to be in play. We already mentioned like DraftKings, MRVL, things that you weren't even thinking about that didn't have earnings. And you got Elf. Thank you on the Rail TV mentioning the Moderna pop, Duolingo, Elf. There's so much. And then you got to throw in, and this is all working against trading Robinhood, to be honest with you. You got to throw in the Apple news yesterday with Gemini. Like that's also going to be in play today. And oddly enough, it's in the exact same range. I'm just looking for Apple to break out this range. Break out the low, I'm buying 67. Break out the top, I'm buying above that 271. I think it was positive news. $1 billion is a steal. $1 billion a year is a steal for them, and it should be good news. But Robinhood, disappointment. It's not moving. I'm not trading it.
For location, just texting my mother. Okay, so yeah, I was just actually looking out here. 61 cents versus 48, 1.2 versus 1.19, 1.27 versus 1.19. It's a great report for Robinhood. I don't know why it did this, and you were able to get long there at 134. I mean, the numbers seem to be pretty good. My problem here is that it's not moving at all. I think this is actually a negative price movement for Robinhood. With the double beat, 77% up in gold subscribers, average revenue improved by 82% per user, CFO retiring, that's fine. Asset platform, total assets grew 119%. I mean, Robinhood should be good here, but it's not. So I mean, it's up 1% is fine. The implied move was obviously many, many points higher than this. So yeah, maybe it does drift a little bit higher, but I'm like not excited for an explosive day. But look, yesterday Rivian was up, I don't know, 7%, something like that. And then I was like, wow, it's underneath 9%, probably doesn't go. And then just bang, rips to the north side there. So yeah, I just, you look at many names and a lot of these stocks are near and at highs. So when you report, you have to fill into your valuation a little bit, and they beat. So they beat expectations, so their PE should raise, and you know, should form out. But I don't know. I thought it would have been up a little bit more than that. Like, I'm not an investor here, but as a trader, I'm leaning more towards short on a day like today. I mean, SoFi's up, Robinhood's up, the banks are up today. You know, everything seems to be cruising right now. Nasdaq up 0.2, ES up 0.2. It's good. It's a good day, I think, today, and I'm trying to think about some longs, and Robinhood's just not in my basket here today, but it could surprise. You know, I didn't think Rivian would do what it did yesterday. But I just wanted to double check before I throw it back over if there was a decent short float. I don't think there is anymore on Robinhood. Yeah, it's 6%. So 6% short float, so we don't really have too much of a reason to think that that's going to be something. But that's not bad. That could get going. Rivian was only 15, and it got going. So yeah, watch out for a 145 break. I think if you're going to short it and you have that sort of same feeling I do, then you can just get out almost immediately at 145 or give it a breath and see. But yeah, Robinhood, great report. I think you know, you dodge a bullet, right? If you're thinking that it's too high and has a place to go lower. So I think you dodge a bullet there with Robinhood and get a good report. So congratulations to all those holding this name. It's only up 4 times this year. So
yeah, you know,
it's only up 400%. You know, that's not bad. It's kind of like when you see Palantir drop down $10 and everyone's crying AI is over, and you realize that that's a day.
The thing about a bull market, we said this after the first down day, the thing about a bull market, when we get one of those days where everything is down and everyone goes doom and gloom, just wait till the next day. If the dip doesn't get bought the next day, then maybe be a little bit more concerned. But if the dip gets bought the next day, then you're just back to where we started, which is, you know, it's a bull market until proven otherwise. Shout out to Dinkelberg, who said that Randy knew about Rivian. Maybe that's why Randy's not here today. He got all of it. He sneakily actually bought all of the Rivian shares, and now he's not coming into work today.
Look, Randy, I wish he was here because I want to talk to him, because someone yesterday in the chat said that at 320 Randy was saying sell Tesla. You know,
did he say that?
Yeah, of course. He's been saying not. He's been very bearish on.
No,
Tesla.
I don't recall him saying sell it, but I know he's been bearish on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we can all sit here, and it's credit to Randy because we've been literally calling him Rivian Randy.
Yeah, he loves.
So that's nice. But I just want to say, like, when you look at Rivian, it's still a good stock, and I'm long the name, but it's like it's just back to where it literally was October 1st. Like, all we did was just get crushed all the way into earnings, and now you get all the way back here. So, I mean, depending on where you're long some of these names, and it's the same thing with Tesla. You know, it's like, we know our guy Joe over there, not a lot of us, but some of us sold Tesla at lows and got money into other names. That's the rotation that happens with these stocks. So, like, right into here, I want to get excited about Rivian, but I want it to break out. You know, that was a great breakout right there off earnings. We sat here yesterday and traded 14 long. Like, that was the break. We didn't get until later, but 14 long was the break. And now I'm actually just worried. That's why I wanted to see Randy. I mean, I think he'll probably be here tomorrow, or maybe he's even here today. We just haven't seen him. Want to see how much runway this stock has, you know, because one day does not make anything. Like, this could come back in. I really like Rivian up here. But I'd like to see it break through this $18 mark, and we're still a very long ways away from that. Already back down 1.3%. I don't know if we want to get our short pants on here today for that, but $16 looks pretty good to me if we're going to short something here today. Look at the Nasdaq trying to pull back just a little bit as well. So yes, Randy should take over Santander Jeet of the CEO of Rivian.
Give it to him.
And that would be, he would definitely like that.
We did miss.
He drives a Porsche.
We showed this on screen. We didn't actually go over it. Look, I was just talking about all the names that are up like 10%. This is not a high volume name, Equinox, but they did report Equinox Gold. It was actually a sales miss, but they beat on EPS. So they beat. It was kind of a mixed report, but up 10% anyways. Must have. There's got to be. Yeah, it's not a. Oh, I don't have float data on this one. That's kind of annoying. Okay, so I couldn't pull up the float because it's very, very tiny volume. The chart looks good. I see what you did there with the pun. that it looks golden, but the chart looks pretty good. Just no volume here today. Like post earnings, 230K. I would imagine it must be a relatively small float as to why it's not really going. You got like yourself a trend break, but I don't know how much you could day trade this. Since I pulled it up, there has not been a print in the time and sales since I pulled this chart up, and it's post earnings. That said, thank you for the super chat, Day Trader LA, and it does look like it's trying to make another leg higher. Obviously, it's in a space which is done very well, and who knows? Things with low flows sometimes can run. I'm just not sure if this is going to end up being tradable. Like very, very quiet. Let's go see what might be tradable in upgrade and downgrade world, and also look at some options with Joe.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. I hope everyone's having a fantastic morning to start off. All right, guys, lots going on. Earnings reports last night, this morning, and also after the bell. It is earnings season, so let's get involved with some of these names here, guys. On the upgrade side, we're going to have HSBC upgrading Caterpillar with a price target to $660. We're up just about 0.8% on the session here. Now, ARM also reporting after the bell yesterday, guys. TD Cowen raising that price target to $190, up around 2.5%. Qualcomm after the bell yesterday as well, too, guys, down 1 1/3 roughly. Price target raised to $205. And now, one of my favorite stocks that I actually don't even own and looking to get involved here, it's going to be TKO Holdings. Yes, that's going to be WWE and the UFC. So I like the CEOs on both ends. Price target being raised to $180 by Pivotal Research. Now, as for the downgrades, I was actually trading DoorDash after the bell yesterday, guys. Post earnings, really nice trading. Bank of America lowering that price target to $305. Down 11.5% from those highs, guys. Figma by Piper Sandler as well, too. Price target lowered to $70. And Duolingo by Needham & Company, price target lowered to $30. Now, ELF, eyes, lips, and face. I didn't know that, to be honest with you. But Piper Sandler lowering that target to $100. Now, let's take a look at some of the options activity. Guys, Robinhood once again reporting yesterday after the bell on this week's expiration cycle at that $150 strike price. We're seeing a balance between the volume and the open interest at that specific level, 19,200 contracts open and close, and then open interest still sitting around 18,300, so those contracts are still currently open, not yet closed. Now, as for Joby Aviation, guys, we're sitting at a relatively light volume, 1,200 contracts there, open and closed, and then open interest sitting around 11,800. Once again, strike price 17, expiring tomorrow. Now, IREN, guys, open interest, relatively light, but the volume at that $80 strike price was very interesting to me. 13,300 contracts open and close, and then with the OI, we have 7,090 contracts there. Now, as for the call of the day, Tesla going on a monster run yesterday, guys. Strike price 470. Expiring this week, volume 53,700 contract with the open interest still around 17,800. Now the Delta, relatively cool because it is out of the money contract with the Gamma light as well too. Keep your eyes on that implied volatility. ATMIV sitting around 79.8%, guys.
You know, Tesla going to be on a lot of people's minds, that's for sure. Actually, look, ARM, probably not going to be the most exciting post-earnings name. It's only up 3%. I'd say disappointing because it didn't really hold on to the gains that it made after market. It's much like everything else, and maybe we'll get into this one, I think, a little bit more in depth. But you know, one thing to look for today is, look, it didn't break that 180 top, which is fine. That's why I was trimming down there. This was kind of like, sometimes you get like an absolute gift, and just the next time you see an IPO that you like that does the IPO like rounded top breakout thing, if you like it, you buy it, right? So you know, either you buy the dip or you buy the breakout. But this one is it's a really lucky event that after it made that breakout, it actually revisited those prices in April. But like, it's a technical double up, and then on these earnings, kind of a disappointment sliding back in. If I see the 50 period today, I said this about Tesla yesterday, and then it's unlikely to get down, and then it actually traded down to that price and popped. So with ARM, if it gets down to that 156, it's possible. Like that's only 5% down from here. If it were to go red and go a couple of points down, you could bounce off that kind of a level. I think this will be a post-earnings kind of a dip buyer for myself there. On ARM, don't know if it's going to be the front of the list. Again, not a ton of volume here pre-market. You need this one to open up and be a little bit more exciting after the fact. But who knows? Maybe SoftBank does. Maybe SoftBank gets their wish at some point. Because it's interesting, this whole the combination between, obviously SoftBank, the big ARM shareholder, right? They're the biggest shareholder. If they're combining them and MRVL, that seems like it could create a powerhouse. I'd be concerned about, well, there'd be some antitrust issues there. Like I think that's the only concern. It's like, well, if that's their intention to combine those companies, and that's why they would pick it up, would the regulators be like, wait a minute? But then we have a new administration. There's a lot that would go into that, MRVL and ARM. Maybe they're not quite big enough. I would tend to think that would be a combination that would be difficult to close just because of the usual environment around it. They didn't let Nvidia buy ARM when they wanted to, that's for sure.
We have quite a good sized position in MRVL, so I'm very excited about that. And that's why when I woke up, I was like searching. I was like, oh my God, nice move. Look at Google right now, though. Nice move in Google here, man. Like I keep saying, man, the rich just keep getting richer. It's just bang, 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 bang. Straight up, this up to 290 again goes Google here. Just like market's pulling back a little bit, but Google is just like, oh, it's 8 o'clock. It's time to do this. We had a nice move up there for Google yesterday. Look at this move off Google off the open yesterday. Look what it's doing today. It's like a mirror image right here. So yesterday we faded back into VWAP, so maybe today we get something for Google around 287 and change. But I'm adding MRVL right now as we speak to the sticky note because it's fading back in. So this is the problem. Remember the other day when, I think it was 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I guess, and I think it was in the pre-market, and MRVL spiked all the way up to 102. I guess that was something, and I was like, I don't understand what's going on there. And then right here again today, it spiked up the same kind of ways. So it's that $100 marker. I'll probably get something out up there, but I did sell some at 95, or not 95, it must have been in here somewhere, 90s last time, or maybe it was around here, like 93, 94, something like that. So now that we're up near $100, I think that might be worth getting something out. I just want to see, I'm going to write down MRVL here, and I was writing down 95. I just want to see if we can come back into that level that was some kind of support or resistance yesterday. I was just looking, I heard the guys come, I was like, oh, is it Randy? But it's not Randy. Right into their 95.50 or so for MRVL on the give up right now. Because SoftBank's probably, when you get that false bump there and you don't get like really any confirmation moving forward, that's kind of the thing. So let's wait to see if MRVL comes back into those levels. And I want to add Google as well to the list. So there's so much happening here today. And we're just excited to have you on board. So we'll lose our voice today a little bit. We have 3 hockey games this weekend as well that will probably lose our voice on that as well. Actually, I don't really do too much yelling at not at the hockey game. I do. I mean, I am the DJ for home games, but that's not a mic. I just play music.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, so you get to play the music instead, so you don't have to yell.
No. There's no yelling, man. And I'll be like, come on, ref, what's that? Stuff like that. But we try not to do it. It's a higher level of hockey, so it's not like you have to sort of. Yeah. You don't want to be like those parents that are yelling and screaming like the coaches. Some of them they don't like that kind of interference. Well, you know what it's like.
Let the kids
being a coach and
let the kids.
The last thing you want to do is yell. But I mean, the refs are 60, 70, 80-year-old men, and women. So it's not like they're little kids. But
if they're grown, it's a little better if they're grown. I've already done the rant once.
Yeah.
When kids are roughing or umpiring, just let them do their thing. It's so ridiculous to me that grown people will lose their minds. Lose your minds over like the stuff that happens in the stock market. That's like like money.
Well, even then, we can't control anything.
No, you can't.
The thing about baseball is we even saw with our Blue Jays. It's like
so true.
Anything can happen. Missed calls, reviews, this and that. Like when they have to review all these plays.
Oh my goodness.
How as a kid, like my daughter's 10 years old. Umpiring T-ball. It's like, how she just makes judgment calls.
No, but it's literally impossible to, like, when you call something like a bang-bang play at like first base, you can't actually simultaneously look at the foot on the bag and
I know,
and the ball in the glove.
But it's amazing how awesome the umpires
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're actually really good at doing their job.
Yeah, they actually get most of those calls completely right. Like, it's boom, boom, and it's like just within seconds, you're like, yep, that's an out. It's like, holy shit, the guy was so confident in his call. Tonight, Raiders, Broncos. I mean, Brock Bowers is back with a vengeance.
Yeah, but I wish we could have. No, we actually can't take the Broncos in our suicide because we have already used them. So
Survivor pool.
So sorry, a survivor pool suicide.
Yeah, we don't say those words. We don't want to get
survivor pool. My bad.
We already got unmonetized when I played that stupid.
Which one?
That Soda Pop song. We got dinged for Soda Pop song.
That's kind of.
I was so happy you were dressed up as whatever that guy's name is. Abs or
that was
something.
worth it.
I thought we were having fun. I thought it was worth it, but apparently it wasn't.
Because they don't have enough money off of K-pop Demon Hunters. They got to come at tradertv.live. Like, seriously?
K-pop.
Come on, son.
Everything is golden. We already got that super chat there today.
Everything is golden. And apparently, and it's even more golden when you take a look at your free packed, stacked watch list today. Because it is, as Adara mentioned, the busiest watch list she's ever made. Maybe we should go over it.
Let's get right into that. Yeah, we got a lot to cover. We'll start with the market here.
68.25, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES December contract. Look where we worked up to. Right into that 68.50 area, and then we rejected. That is because it was a key area of support that we had held on the 30th, and then on the 3rd of November, we work our way up there, we reject. So we're going to use 68.50 again, Brendo, as a resistance level. If we sell off for whatever reason, the 68.04, so 6800 area as support.
As we were mentioning, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you jump down to the description of this video. Top link there will get you to the sign up page for the watch list. It's free. All you need is your email address. Comes right to your inbox every single day. A lot, as we were mentioning, to understand this morning. Let's start things off here with Snapchat rolling over a little bit, but took at least a lot of the headlines after the close yesterday on this announcement, more so than the report itself. $400 million deal with Perplexity to power its back-end AI.
It's going to be really good, Brendo. They did warn, though, of some weakening daily active users as new filters come in for teen accounts, and they're going to have to do a lot of age verification now in different jurisdictions. But the shares, as Brendo mentioned, up markedly here in the morning with a Q3 revenue beat easily, $1.51 billion, beating the 1.49. EPS, 6 penny loss, not directly comparable to estimates, though. Those global daily active users now at 477 million, but the company does warn that that number may drop. The ARPU as well, the average revenue per user, about $3.16. The company says they want to get that above $3.25 by next year, so we'll have to see how they do. As Brendo mentioned, the AI Perplexity partnership, they announced a $400 million deal. They're going to integrate conversational search into Snapchat by next year, and Perplexity will pay through, Brendo, a mix of cash and equity, marking a new revenue stream for the company.
If you zoom out on this one, back to the top end of the range all at once here. We're still trying to get above that key level of resistance, though, guys, for Snap. Thoughts here?
Yeah, that's essentially, like, when I wrote this one in my note, I was kind of like, I need to be really ambiguous to the direction off of this level. It's too big of a level, this 65 to 70. It's the 200 period, it's prior resistance, and you're already kind of like trending underneath it. So it's pretty simple. Look, they're saying and doing all the things they need to. Like, again, I don't know how relevant they're going to be able to remain without maybe somebody wants to pick them up, but I think the Perplexity is it's a good story for them. You get the hype out of it. But if we're not breaking out what's clearly 880 change resistance here and not even holding VWAP, there's always like that trend pullback. And you have so much, like you've got so much room, like forget about 850, like all the way down to like 8 to 812 would be the gap fill on the daily chart. So if we don't get back above VWAP to break this out, then I might, it's one of those after the opening range, if it's under VWAP, usually I'm just shorting those types of things. But I want to be taking a long into that high. It just has to break out this top. So that could easily happen right away. I remember a couple of years ago that Snapchat actually halted. Like it was so crazy off an open one time it actually halted. So it could be one of our, I'm hoping that happens. If that happens to the upside, great for everybody, and hopefully we can get the breakout long. But then we might get a chance to see the halt bands for the first time on this symbol. My guess is it'll be a smaller type name that we see those on because we just got them in the platform. So yeah, breakout long, it doesn't seem as likely as it did maybe 20 or 30 minutes ago, but we can be patient with Snap.
Yeah, I still own a small piece of Snapchat, but yeah, it's just around these levels, so it's not like it's ripping up or anything like that. We had first, I think it was on one of their last earnings calls, we had bought some Snapchat into here, into this resistance. That's what I'm saying. It's probably, I think it's like $8 long or something like that. We did not average in to this down here at $7. So yeah, it's a nice little trade to the high side. I've been saying this name should be bought out for a long time, but you know, if Meta's not coming calling or Google or anything like that, then yeah, maybe there is nothing here. My kids still use Snapchat and they like it, and it's you know, a big piece of their story, but it doesn't look like they're able to get going. So up 18% today here on Perplexity. I just I don't know. I don't. The generation that's using Snapchat, they're just using it for passing messages around. I just don't know what the actual enterprise value is here for Snapchat. So I think we could probably fade this. Nancy Pelosi, I just heard in my ear, is not seeking re-election into Congress. So that's something there. So you don't get any more.
What do we do with the ETF?
From her. Now she can just make millions and billions of dollars by herself now. But yeah, nice move to the high side right here. And all you've done is just take out the 200 period. So I think, yeah, watch out for this, man. Right around that $9. I think it's a fade around $9.25, that high that we've just put in. If we get anything up here, I think we hit Snapchat. I've seen so many good stories come from this company, and then it never really follows through. I mean, look at, now that I say that, just look at all these spikes, right? Like, we had a spike there, didn't follow through, didn't follow through, didn't follow through. Like, you know, where all these moves, there's been really nothing. So, yeah, hard to get excited about it, but I mean, this was nice, but then that wasn't. So it's just like, it was good for a month and then right back to where it was a month later. So, yeah, I would say dating Snapchat is, I've seen worse trades. So Tesla today, though.
It just went red.
Tesla did?
Just now.
Well, look at the market. The market just went red.
Market's going red.
Market's tanking here.
Can't have nice things, apparently.
Man, all my longs are going to get cracked over here on my sticky note. Let's go back over the desk.
Like everything is getting under VWAP.
To stay on your time. Yeah.
Exactly.
And we were just talking about Tesla's investor vote specifically coming up tonight. So just so everyone's aware, this is going to happen at 4 p.m. Eastern, or the actual meeting is going to start at 4 p.m. Eastern. So after the market closes, make sure you're with us for the recap. Probably won't be any kind of results coming from it initially, but maybe we'll get some sort of headlines. This is Dan Ives' opinion. Shocking no one. Says Elon's $1 trillion pay will get passed by investors, even coming off what we were sitting here yesterday talking about, which was the Norwegian fund. Basically, they're going to say no, and have said they're going to say no. Will they be able to find enough votes remains to be seen.
It's going to be a good question, Breno. Most people are predicting this will pass. Let's just see by how much, though. And let's see what's on the line. So it's an $878 billion pay package that's on the line here, the largest executive pay proposal ever. It has a lot of aggressive milestones, so let's talk about them. He's got to put 20 million cars on the road within the next 10 years. He's got to put 1 million robo-taxis. He's got to deploy those globally, and he's got to reach a market cap of $1.5 trillion to $8.5 trillion. It unlocks, obviously, different value. Passage is likely, as I mentioned, as Musk holds about 15% of the vote so far, and now the vote is going to occur in Texas, not in Delaware. Supporters argue for their part that Musk's vision could multiply shareholder value if met, but critics, including the Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund and other major proxy advisors, they call it excessive and shareholder unfriendly. Tesla's board the board warned that Musk might step down if the package is not passed, but that's not the only thing that's being discussed today, Brendo. Shareholders are also going to vote on whether Tesla should invest in Musk's AI startup, XAI. Musk has publicly urged Tesla to back XAI financially, and shareholders are also going to decide whether or not to eliminate the company's super majority voting requirement and to replace it with a simple majority.
I have two thoughts on this. One is, why would you want to hold up this guy and the progression of this company, period, end of story? And the second is, Kathy Wood, amongst others, if you didn't mention, are saying, I've come out and said, yeah, they're 100% voting yes.
She went to X yesterday to make her opinion very clear. But Brendo, I want to mention what Musk is saying. He's saying that these proxy advisors are being basically infiltrated by social activists. They put social activists onto their boards, and they're trying to push different political agendas on there, and that's kind of why he's fighting back.
And the other aspect of this, which you mentioned, I think yesterday, was, I think the key here is he wants a voting share up to 25%. before he goes and makes this army of robots and wants to have control over that. Or, as you said, like if a proxy fight happens and they try to remove him at that point, he will have less control. So I think that's actually the most important part. Like, you know, put the compensation aside.
Right.
He just wants the control once he gets to that point.
Yeah, I don't know. Like when he said that on All In, he's like, I want to control the robot army. It kind of seemed a little ominous to me, Brendo. I don't want anybody controlling a robot army. It feels a little scary.
I mean, I think.
But I get what
his intention was more. He wants to have his hand on the kill switch if it comes to that. But I don't know. Again, after the close today, guys, so we won't hear anything until then.
Yeah, I'm with the second side of that.
The joke is there's nothing to hear.
He doesn't want somebody else to have control. He doesn't trust somebody else to have control of the robot army. He doesn't.
Until the robots control the army themselves.
Yeah, well, and then we're all screwed, so what difference does it make anyways? But Kalshi has this at 95%, right? And it hasn't been, in the last couple of months, it hasn't been any lower than 79, I believe this says. So this is, you know, I mean, do we really think that's wrong? I would never bet against the betting markets when they're that certain about something. So, you know, like we said, it's going to pass tonight. After 4 o'clock, though, a little perturbed by this, I don't like this pullback. I'm not a huge fan of this pullback. And I'm looking at the Nasdaq, like, do we hold on to overnight double bottoms? I think that'll be the key spot, 25.6 or so. If that's the case, like things that I'm not changing the mind on things that I like long, but really like Tesla, without the market getting back to support, is already trading into that 59, 60 area support that it would need to bounce from. And there isn't a heck of a lot till you get to the 450 level and then down here like 441, 442. My notion today was to favor the long. I just don't like something going red in this moment. So I might sit this one out at the open because the market has a bit more to drop before its support, and Tesla's already there. And if it cranks lower, then I think picking it somewhere up, in the 52 range would make some sense. I said, oh, it's probably not going to get there yesterday about the 442, and then that it was there within 30 to 40 minutes. So I think some patience is going to be required for the dip buy in Tesla. But all systems say that this vote is going to get affirmed at 4 o'clock, and I want to trade Tesla as such. Just don't like the fact that we just turned red here.
Yeah, like 95% on Kalshi is as good as 100%. I mean, you're not going to flip votes that easily, and I think that betting market is 100% right. You're now making a move down into 460 again. So, yeah, I don't know, man. This was a dip buy opportunity. When we were up here at 466 and we sort of sat down here and we looked at the chart, I was thinking that this could be a good level for it to bounce. So we're kind of doing that right now. But we've seen Tesla, like I said, off the open. Like, this was just yesterday. We got to 453 down to 442. We dropped $10 off the open before just accelerating like mad, up $20, $25 from the bottom. And you didn't have to have anything involved in Tesla until we broke this level right there of 450 yesterday. So we came back, we were going underneath, see ya. So I could see something like that happening today, especially with this market coming back in. We sort of try to make a little bit of a bottom or a top, and then we fade it off of there. Because, this is, to me, is not even, it's a story because we're talking about it, but at that kind of a percentage, it's going to happen, and these are all-time highs. So the question is it a sell the news event, right? We're all kind of thinking that this is going to pass, so we go upside. But has that really changed the story of Tesla? I mean, I could argue that, yeah, it has. I mean, if he does get that pass, then maybe it is full throttle up to that 8 trillion market cap, or at least an attempting of doing that. And we like the stock. I mean, you're getting Alibaba bumping up today on an Xpeng on, and we're going to probably, we won't talk about it, but this is my #1 trade idea. I like Alibaba and XPEV today on, news of robo-taxis and autonomous driving and all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, Tesla's going to lead the way and other companies will try to catch up. So for me, Tesla is a long. It's just a matter of being patient today, because it's not a story that we can trade off of when it's a 95% certainty and the market's already rallied. It rallied $25 yesterday. So, I mean, yeah, I think Tesla's a great stock, and let's see if we can pick something up at lows. It didn't really get going until it broke the 200, right, yesterday. So we'll see. It's now underneath it. So that's 463 right now. Problem is, I think in the open, it's going to be back and forth a couple dollars. So I'm going to be patient with it. My style of trading would get me in way too much trouble trading this aggressively early. So let's see if we can get some kind of a move somewhere here on Tesla and then play off of that kind of a sentiment. It might be down. The market might crank today. I mean, that's a decent move back right now. You just lost 100 points on the Nasdaq. That's not horrible. So, all right, now Qualcomm earnings. Let's go see what they're up to.
Yeah, one of those kind of ho-hum reactions to this report. This got bought up pretty heavily into the close yesterday as well. And then we just come back to yesterday's pre-market level after the close. So just erased essentially what happened during the day. And here we are actually trading higher than that right now. There was some question marks around the premium smartphone market, specifically with Samsung that they raised. Overall, though, I mean, decent.
It was a good report, Brendo. The only thing is they're going to lose Apple as a customer for the modem there. So let's talk about this report, guys. Adjusted EPS $3, beating the 288 expected on revenue of 11.27 billion, beating the 10.79. Easy beat on the top and bottom line. They also issued upbeat Q1 forecast. They're now projecting 11.8 to 12.6 billion in revenue. That's a bit of a range there, ahead of the expected range, with EPS 330 to 350, easily beating the 331 expected by analysts. Android, handset, autos, and Internet of Things momentum really offset the declining Apple exposure. Let's talk about that Apple exposure over here. So Qualcomm confirmed it expects to lose Apple as a modem customer in the coming years as Apple shifts to its own in-house 5G modem. You see the analyst rating there on the screen. Citi maintaining their neutral rating, 180 price target. Bernstein outperform at 215, and Deutsche Bank holding there is at 165. Their Internet of Things segment, the worst performing, up 7%. Handsets 14% year over year, Brendo. And that automotive segment continues to grow at the fastest, 17% year over year.
Didn't move on this, but note on Microsoft quickly. Microsoft has formed a quote unquote super intelligence team. Microsoft AI superintelligence team to be led by Sullivan. Last name, obviously, but heads up on Microsoft too.
So I'm going to give an analogy for Qualcomm. It's going to be this one. You're a high-flying NBA player, like maybe you're like a current Zion Williamson, a young Sean Kemp, a young Charles Barkley, and you're so used to just dunking on everybody. And you get a little bit older, and your knees hurt, and all of a sudden you get in the paint, and instead of just throwing down, you're doing pump fakes 10 times to do a layup. That's Qualcomm. And, you know, it was a great name, and obviously, you know, losing Apple and not participating. It's had a good run, but everything's rallied, you know, since the April lows. So there's nothing wrong about that. And then today, you know, you get kind of a muted and disappointed reaction aftermarket, and then again here tonight. So, yeah, this one's going to be a pass for me. Like, if I was going to look short on something in the space, and I am, it's like SMCI. Like, this gives me clarity. Qualcomm, what do you do with this? It's right in the middle of yesterday's crazy range, maybe trending toward the bottom. Didn't break out of anything the last week. Not an exciting stock in the long term. I don't know how many people, like if you're like, oh, I own two or three names in the chip space. Qualcomm, well, you'd have to own like 20 names to like Qualcomm or something like that. Or, you know, there's probably at least, maybe not 20, but probably at least 10. So I'm going to be trading SMCI if I want to pick a bear, because they were bearish yesterday. It was pop and drop. I want to think pop and drop again today. You know, it said 47 yesterday. It almost got there, didn't. I'm thinking 44 pop and drop in SMCI. And if I don't get any pop, then I'll short underneath VWAP like it did for a trend down. So I'd rather be picking on this one. Qualcomm, kind of a boring one, and nothing burger. There's better chip stocks out there. You could trade Marvell today. You could trade AMD. You could trade Micron. Like there's a heck of a lot more moving.
Yeah, I didn't realize Qualcomm was going to make the list. I didn't even look at it, so I'm going to pass on it. I have Marvell here, 95. I have Google, 285. We don't even have IONQ on this list, guys. And I know that there's a lot of quantum names that you guys are looking at. I have IONQ at 59, and then we have Alibaba. So all of my ideas that I have on here did not make the list, but it doesn't mean that those aren't good opportunities. Qualcomm, again, a stock that Neil just reviewed there, and I've never traded it, so I'm going to stay away. But I do like Marvell coming back in here here into $95. We're going to see that's where the 50-period moving average is here at 96. So if that can fade back in here on buyout, not buyout rumors, but on rumors that SoftBank was sort of poking around about MRVL, I'm going to see if there is a dip buy here. The market could crank lower off the open, and I want to be able to sit and buy certain names. And I think MRVL is going to be on the shopping list here today if that does come back in. It's just so hard to trade names on earnings day one. So I'm going to stay away from Qualcomm for now and probably forever. All right, here's a name that you guys will be happy with. It's Robinhood earnings. 10 minutes more until this market opens up.
Yeah, another one kind of chopping around here this morning. Not much to look at as far as price action, as we were saying early on. Despite a decent report here from Robinhood, they did ask, I saw the quote, they asked Vlad about going the MicroStrategy route with cryptocurrencies, and he said, we're still thinking about it.
Really?
So he didn't actually rule that out.
That'll be a big day because we always see these companies adding crypto to their treasuries and the stock rocketing after that. Let's see how they did. It was a major Q3 earnings beat, guys, here with EPS coming in at 61 pennies, beating 53 pennies. Revenue 1.27, beating 1.19, and most notably, growing 100% year over year on that top line number. Fantastic year for Robinhood. They took home more than half $500 million in net income, 556. Compare that to the 150 they took home last year, but it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. So despite that top line growth, transaction-based volume slightly missed, showing minor softness in trading. They're trying to get away from that. I'll get to that in a second. CFO Jason Warwick said the company added 2 major business lines to their business now. The prediction markets, as we spoke about, they're tapping into that speculative retail demand, and Bitstamp acquisition, which is boosting its crypto exchange presence. Both units, Brendo, are already generating over $100 million in annualized revenue. And Robinhood, as I mentioned, trying to strategically diversify away from transaction dependency, whether at the institutional level or retail.
Price action downside right now, guys, overall for Hood, but we are coming into some key levels here. Thoughts?
Yeah, we are coming into some key levels potentially, but we're not there yet. The notion of breaking out a 145 on a mixed report at this point is seeming like almost incredibly unlikely. If it were, I don't think this is the kind of report that drops it. Oh no, this is the absolute top, at least not as an initial reaction. But you do need to hold on to 135, right? Like I think that's the only place reasonably to look. That's a $5 drop from here on Robinhood. If it doesn't trade there, then it is what it is. I want to quickly pivot because we got to talk about some other names very quickly. I know we're going to talk about DoorDash in a quick little second, but there was that Xpeng BABA. You'd already mentioned it, Sean. Xpeng partnering or utilizing Alibaba, Alibaba's platform. And I think, look, I like the long on this. It's a little bit choppy sideways in the pre-market in a very, very tight range. So if it breaks 170, like I want inventory into a break. If we end up losing this, like immediately losing the bid, I want to buy in front of the prior low. Seen Alibaba do this before, where you like the long, it's a nice little rounded bottom it's trying to put in here after a bit of a dip. So I want to play this to the upside, and it's valid all the way to it's actually 166.5. I might have wrote 167, which was the actual high. But if we don't break down, then this is taking out 170 at the open. So this is one that has to be on the radar. I can wish and hope that Robinhood had been more exciting, but it's not. It's trading inside of the range. I want something doing like new things or continuing a trend, and Robinhood's doing neither.
Yeah, we sort of talked a little bit about Robinhood already. Yeah, just about that one too. I do have Alibaba's my #1 trade idea today at 167. So I'm already sitting there. Let's see if we can get some longs into that name again here today. Yeah, look, I said I was pretty disappointed with Robinhood, and I was saying that when it was at 144. Okay, and the reason is not about the report, but just about the action on the stock. And I was like, if you are in Robinhood, you're probably like a sigh of relief because there's not much actually happening in the stock. We've had a lot of times that it's blown up or down off earnings, and it wasn't doing much. And I don't really like that. I mean, they beat everywhere, an increase basically on every metric, and the market's hitting it. So yeah, I don't. I think it's a short today. You're underneath everything here. The 50 period, VWAP, the 200 period. I don't want to get an aggressive short rate here. I want to see what happens. I still think it can run to the top here, 144 to 145. But if it does get up there, let's see if there's enough juice to break through. Like I said yesterday on Rivian, Rivian was up 5 or 6%. I thought that, hey man, we're not going to do anything. I said live on the show until we break through that 14. Well, that just broke through, and we were short into that. So we had lost early on Rivian, and then it just blasted like 20% higher. So you gotta think that that is a good opportunity here also for Robinhood, right? I mean, it could make one of those little bit of a dance to the downside and then just rip this 145 and then just go. So let's be careful with that. If it does get back up here, I want to short Robinhood. So for me, that's looking at a short. There's also Duolingo, missed really badly last night as well. Elf Cosmetics missed as well. I don't even know if they missed, but their markets, the market is hitting both of these names pretty dramatically. I think that the Duolingo move down in, we already talked about AI and some of the impacts it's having. I mean, now you can literally just put an earbud into your ear and talk to anybody in any country and not worry about it. So if you want to get smarter and learn languages, I think Duolingo is good. But, the fact that you need to learn multiple languages now is just not going to be the case.
That's why they're pivoting to other things.
Yeah,
right?
so, and it's just, there's so many other things available. So I don't know, we'll see. But Duolingo, yeah, down 30%. Might be in a good buy zone now, but we'll talk about that as the day goes on. Down 27%. Now's a buy? I don't know. Let's go back over the desk and talk about DoorDash.
All right, let's go on to Dash to wrap things up here. I went out to a weekly chart. This is the Q4 report right here that happened in February of this year. So we're sitting this morning on that last high going back to February of this year. So the stock's still green on 2025, but just barely at this point.
Yeah, it feels like it's almost given back the entire year, Brendo. Let's talk about how they did, guys. They beat on revenue, but they missed on EPS. EPS coming in light, 55 pennies. The street wanted 69. Revenue 3.45, beating the 3.36 and growing at a 27% increase year over year. Their net income, their take-home money, $244 million. Margin compression, though, and higher future investment plans weighed heavily on investor sentiment. Let's talk about their spending and their long-term vision. They plan to invest several $100 million in 26 for growth initiatives and infrastructure. They want to build a new global tech platform, and a key part of that strategy is going to be autonomous driving technology called DOT.
Technically, I think we're a little broken here, guys. What do we do here with Dash today?
Well, okay, so yeah, it's not all good with Dash, but this wasn't a terrible looking. Like, this is not like Chandra showed Elf, right? Like, this is not the same thing. And Duo's chart, so you showed Duo, but both those names just only trending down. This is the first day of a massive trend break, or maybe the second or third day of a massive trend break for Dash. That said, it's going to open possibly SSR. I thought this was an absolute mortal lock to open SSR and was kind of targeting that 200 level. Yesterday, Pinterest was down similarly, and there was a very, very quick bump that you could play into the volume weighted average price. It held the even $1.26. And there's only two spots to look at here are 210 and 205 in terms of support levels. So if I see this do a similar move to what Pinterest did, which is drop at the open, use a 3-minute here, like drop at the open, do like a wick bottom through that even dollar, and then immediately snap back up. I don't know how much I like the 210. It's too close. I might think that the 205 is a better place to try that trade, or the $200 level. But it's a very quick trade, snap back into, pun not intended, the volume weighted average price. Got to start staring it down when it gets to that level to make sure that I'm not just sitting on the bid in front of it. The notion is that it actually breaks through underneath, and then you try to get it on the way back up if it can't follow through. Tends to happen rather quickly, but it was pretty solid on Pinterest yesterday.
All right, yeah, yesterday was a pretty good day. I actually was trying to load up to show you guys what some of the numbers were yesterday. So let me see if we can do that. Let's go over who made some money yesterday here at Real Trading. So let's just have a quick little look at some of the top traders yesterday. Someone made $51,000 on Amex and Nasdaq. There's another trader, Amex and Nasdaq. Someone on Blue Ocean took home 15,000 yesterday as well. So that's the overnight market. We had Moon represented from Jeff Mendel on OTC Markets. So pretty soon you'll see some Moon action over here as well. Nasdaq, Amex. Oh, someone finally in Canada over here, 12 and change, and then another Amex. So and then we have multiple markets here at Real Trading. Copenhagen, Australia, Nasdaq, sorry, the New York Stock Exchange, the highest trader was only $2,000 yesterday. That's a little strange. Hong Kong, 2,000. Canada, again, Nasdaq, there's Blue Ocean. And someone crushed whatever happened there on the Amex yesterday. So just a quick little look at some of the options or opportunities here at Real Trading with all these different markets, man. And that's part of the best thing. What I'm looking to do, I'm just going to run through them really quickly. These are all posted on the note. So we've got Alibaba looking for that long. I'm bidding 167. We've got IONQ, which IONQ is falling in right now. So I actually put a bid at 56, real small, just to see. But this name is coming back in pretty good. I like a 59 break on what I thought was a really good report for Quantum. That's not happening right now. The market's pulling in. So I'm going to be very, very light on all of these initial spots. MRVL long 95 is on the list, and then Google is there. I'm already long something right now. Google just got long 285 is what we're looking for, and there it is right now. Look at that drop in Google that just happened. Like what? So it's a nice move. Google was just at 290 a half hour ago. So we just got long 285 here on Google as posted on the note. So let's be patient with this one. The first trade is now in.
And we got about 10 seconds to go. This bell brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex. And on a Thursday, a heavy earnings Thursday, let's ring it in 2 and 1. Let's go. And obviously right away.
All right.
Right away, Apple's catching a bit. The market catching a little bit of a bit at the open. I'm assuming Google probably bounced. That was a
right now Google's doing nothing, but
Apple snapped like $1 right away.
Okay, up or down?
Up.
Down. Oh,
like it was
up, okay.
at the lows. I wanted 67s. Oh, it's coming right back. So it might still get down to 67.
Yeah, we're just gonna try, but be patient here. Like I'm folding my hands. We're just sitting, relaxing. We took another 285 long there. That low though of 284, we break that, man, and we are out of here. So watch out for that. I'm gonna take another position at 284.50 just to see if what we're saying. But we already have IONQ long as well down here. So all these longs right now just fell into our lap. And let's just see what winds up happening. 55.50, let's just put that as a stop. Again, I don't have very many shares on any of these names. I told you that's completely switching over strategies. Like, I don't need to get run over early and then make it all back late. Let's just be very specific on what we're trying to do here. And that is watch out for the names that we have listed and not give it too much room and just be wrong when we're wrong. So here, Google, 283.99. If it breaks, we'll be getting out of here. But we'll give it a couple of breaths to see if it does have some upside play to it. So right now we're long Google in the 70s, and there goes IONQ. So again, we don't even have to worry about it. It drops out. We're now up 5 times more on this Google trade that we just lost on IONQ. 5 times more. Make that. Okay, now we're a lot more, but there it goes. Nice move to start the day there. We said buy Google 285. We did it. So here we go. Let's see what happens to Google the rest of next couple minutes.
The market's still falling down here. So the only thing that's actually setting up for me right now is potentially Apple and Snapchat. Snapchat didn't fall that far. If it can get back above VWAP, it's still going to be a potential break. SMCI is not waiting for anybody. Whoa, somebody's there for 170,000 shares at 42.10. That just dropped like an absolute rock into the low. So I'm not shorting the absolute bottom. And then I liked Dash essentially for a quick little jaunt into 05s. It just did it. The snap back up was a little bit violent. So suffice to say that you had to be much faster than me, who is a human being, back through. DoorDash, not the most liquid stock in the world when you look at it. So on the way back through, I tried to hit through 6, didn't get it. I'll see if I can get picked back up off the low. But DoorDash down 13%. It is short sell restricted and trying to bounce. So SMCI is about to go red and hit that 42 level. It should be short sell restricted. So I don't know if you can even get a breakdown trade through 42. I'm not shorting the low of the day though. So Snapchat potential. Alibaba's still holding out. I don't think it's going to hit that 67 and still trying to get swept up here in some DoorDash. Apple bounce might have already happened. So I got to watch out for Dash and SMCI mostly.
Yeah, we are, oh boy, guys. We've done our day. Our day is done. So that's it. We're done now. We're in the money now, $3 off of our posted trade. The day, honestly, it's we've just made it. So we've just did everything we needed to do on Google. So I don't know what else to talk about right now, but we'll keep going. The show must go on. But there's your day done. I mean, if you followed it, the only thing that actually executed today with any gusto was this trade. And of course, we don't want to ignore IONQ, but we're now up 40 times more on Google than we lost on IONQ, and we were wrong on that one, as that one just dropped right through, right back in. So I told you, man, I said yesterday that we're changing up the style a little bit, and that is that if there's a posted price that we like, we'll take it, but then we're not gonna give it too many breaths, man, and when it's wrong, it's wrong. Like, generally, I would have said, okay, IONQ, maybe this is the low, and we'll hold it till there, or to there, and then you suffer through some of this, right? But we don't do that here today. All we do is put up numbers. All right, so BABA was another one that we wanted to do as well. We're gonna look at Duolingo, Snapchat, all these other names. There's many names. Alibaba didn't quite fall into the level, so we're gonna be patient. We're waiting for 167 on that one as well. Let's check out the 95% on Kalshi, what Tesla wants to do. And I mean, Tesla again starts the day at 462, makes the move down into 458. We talked about possible moves here for Tesla, violent off the open, but that's not even that violent. That's just a little move down, $3, $4, and then a nice move back to the high side now for Tesla. So hopefully the market can rally and Tesla can get on board. But for right now, that's just a general morning for Tesla, I feel like, and nothing really to be attended to. And then Marvell, we almost got it. We're bidding, so I have 95 long. In my account is 95.15s. It gets as low as 95.50. So if this one comes in, we're gonna have to watch out for it. But right here, man, I mean, we're out of more than half, but maybe not enough of Google. It did go all the way up to 287, so drifting back into VWAP right now is part of the story. This market, though, Neil, this might be like one of the worst opens, just because there's really hasn't been many bounces, right? I mean, it sort of started off in the pre-market and just kept on going down, and now you're right back to this 285 level again for Google and looking to go lower, man. The market is giving it up pretty good here.
It is giving it up pretty good. I took the shot the second time through on DoorDash, but it didn't hold on to that bottom. So anytime doing an SSR play, you understand you're taking a falling knife. Much better yesterday on Pinterest, but admittedly, I didn't get the first look. The second look is not always going to be the same. SMCI did just break 42, but my eyeballs are over at Apple. Liked Apple at 267 for long. It obviously didn't get there. You can see it's already through the volume weighted average price. The market's still dropping, and Apple's looking relatively strong. So if I like the long here, I have to look at the 68 low or some kind of a higher low pattern. I left my order in just in case the market going down sweeps me up, which would be fine, but that hasn't happened yet. Apple seems to be the only name that I'm looking at that is super strong right now and breaking out. That and, oh, no, Alibaba is too.
Yeah, I love
Okay,
Alibaba.
so Alibaba's starting to go. I like this for a break at 170. That's a bit of an arbitrary even dollar level. It's actually breaking out locally at 169.6. I might like to take some inventory now that if it closes above VWAP, I'll play VWAP first. Either way, you can stick a fork in 162 or 167. Got to work into this 170 level breakout for sure. BABA, the story, of course, with Xpeng. Well, BABA's a good company in general, but the story with Xpeng is the catalyst today.
Yeah, we had, like I was saying, we had Alibaba written down as our trade at 167, but yeah, same as Neil, did not hit yet. All right, some of the names that were active this morning. Duolingo still here at 27. Shares of Moderna were up 10%. We didn't even talk about Moderna today. They were up 10% and now fading back, only up 3%. Now is Moderna as that comes back down in. Neil just mentioned DraftKings. I mean, they had a deal there with ESPN, and I said we're going to fade that name, but that's happening, so we'll wait for that. Someone in the chat says, oh man, you missed DraftKings. I was like, no, I didn't. We're gonna wait on DraftKings for a minute. The only thing we bought yesterday was Apple, and of course, today the only position that I'm in is Google, and there we go. We just take another dollar. Actually, a dollar. We take another $1.50 on that one, up to 286 again. Let's see if it wants to continue to go. Let's check out yesterday's big winner for me, Palantir. See what that's doing. We were able to get some good lows yesterday, and oh boy, there goes Palantir, man. I don't know, but there it is, a huge move up. Palantir fell into 185 there, kind of blinded by that. I didn't even see that move. Down into 180, wow. That was a very aggressive move off the open for no reason on Palantir. I didn't see any news about it, but we're gonna wait to see if this can finally break 190. Palantir on one, and I'm not on it, which I should be, but there goes Palantir to the upside, and then we're gonna go to Adair in a second. We haven't looked at chip names yet. AMD 250, so good on you for that one. Advanced Micro Devices, you're trading really well there today. I mean, it's down, but we'll wait to see if it bounced off 250 was the level that I was talking about. And then, yeah, bad news for Nvidia, looks like, as it's not holding that 200 very well, man.
Jensen.
Yeah, Jensen throwing smoke on his own product there. So let's go and wait to see what happens with Nvidia. Obviously, dip buy opportunities down to 195, but oh boy, man, it's Google's world, and we all are living in it. We already know that. And there it goes back up to the upside. So we're pretty happy with that one. Good trade on Alibaba. That broke through 170. So it's got some good runners on board here. Let's go find.
SMCI must have gone ham.
Yeah, let's go see what Adair has, and then there's so many stuff to go through. SMCI, Neil's talking about. We're on Tesla on our mind. Let's go. What's up, Adair?
Yeah, I'll look into Palantir. I did see a headline on it. I'll give me 2 seconds for that one. But PACB on watch here. James Altucher calling this one a long idea, saying it's the quiet leader powering the future of medicine. I do also have to mention Boeing. This headline came out right before the open. I did put it on our screen. Stock not reacting too much, but yeah, basically we did have the U.S. dismissing Boeing criminal charges over the 737 MAX jet. Back to you.
That we weren't talking about.
Yeah.
I was just telling Sean, there's a lot of stuff that reported or moved today that we didn't get to, Oscar Health being one of them. I promise we'll cover as many things as we can.
Nah.
I'm
joking. Of course we will.
We'll do it. He's joking. Yeah, we'll do our best.
We won't.
Look, Alibaba, it bounced off the volume weighted average price, which is a moving target, which means I got to move bids. Someone just wrecked it at the party at 170.5. So bounced VWAP. It did break the 170. Failed at 170.5. I just trailed out. I'm going to buy the dip back into VWAP initially because it can't hold 70s here. That'll be around the 30s, or I guess it's like the 20s as well. So I want to try to get back into this one. The prior high could be a thing, 169.60 or so. And then I was saying in the corner of my, like SMCI must be going because a huge bounce just happened off of the lows here in SMCI. So SMCI back to some pre-market levels. I was sitting here underneath 42.5. I'm not going to give this too much past 42.6. I'm bearish on it since the earnings, but if it goes V-shape, you don't want to fight this one too much. So I'm just going to throw my stop order in there. Alibaba's going to be part of the mine on the way back in here, but you said Beyond Meat?
Well, you know when you say like a stock is going ham? Well, this is going fake ham right now. I mean, this is Beyond Meat right here. It just continues to go higher and higher and higher right now. Thank you very much. But yeah, this is just 130, 132. I mean, I don't know if it was a level break, but this was looking like a barcode there. And I think if you do, actually, you know what? I saw Walmart post something. If you scan this barcode, you can go and get one free Beyond Meat burger. But that was doing nothing all AM, and then whoops, there's the break up to 150 again. So if you sort of zoom out, we've been to 150 a couple times and faded both times. Right there and then right there again. And it kind of happened right off the open 2 days ago. We got into 150. And then the close, we were down, to 130 again. So potential move here for BYND. Anyways, there it goes, man. Hopefully you guys are on that.
Honestly, no news because
I didn't hear anything.
I heard it, thought nothing.
I think it was just a level break, honestly. Like it was just doing this, it got going, people jumped on board. The thing about moves that start is the algos get involved because you never know like what the story actually is. So when you get a good break, it gets bought, hoping that there's something there and that we can continue. That's why you often hear people that are long near the breaking spots, right? They have different algos set up to hit said opportunities. So there goes Beyond Meat. Like you said, Alibaba faded back out. You're out of that one, so that's a good trade.
I just paid for Beyond Meat locates.
Yeah, that might be a good opportunity there. And then MRVL fading back in as well. MRVL was up to 102 when I woke up this morning, and yeah, now 97. And we did have, hopefully, what is going to be a decent reload opportunity, or we already took it, here in Google. So we just got longer at our posted level of 285. So there it goes, man. This has been a really good banger for me as we just reloaded. We just got out some more in the 30s. So here goes Google. Next stop, hopefully Higher. 200 period is where I'm waiting for. Again, 280, so it's right here. No, I actually got filled there already. Let me put out a 75, so there it is. We grab that fill, and there goes Google on the reload 2 times daily goal right there. So props up anybody that followed the sticky note one more time. It's a free resource located at Trader TV Sean on X and on Instagram, but it's a $2 winner, and we've reloaded it twice. Big shares, big trade. It's Google. Hopefully, some of you are on that one with me, and we're trading a bunch of different things here. SMCI.
The Nasdaq just broke low of day. The ES is at the low of the day. So there's the ES at overnight lows, trying to bounce desperately here, and the Nasdaq pushing through. So from what I can at least see, you've got Meta going a little bit ham. Apple's holding a higher low.
Is Meta going up?
Okay.
It must be going down.
Trying to buy a higher low here in Apple. Don't need my 67 bid, but Meta load. PC load letter is now heading down to that 620.
Ooh, what?
Here.
I thought it was
no. Meta's one of the names that's cranking us to the downside here. You've got Apple holding up, you've got Google holding up, you've got Tesla that just went back to green. TSLA, there's no S at the end.
There's a few traders that really like Meta down
Tesla trying to go and really trying to bounce here. So you've got this weird battle happening in the overall market. The Nasdaq really the one taking it. Not on the chin, it's only 0.5% to the downside. I got stopped at SMCI, it wicked me out. Like, oh, we're just gonna wick me out, then we'll get back in. If it ends up being a topping tail candle, some out in front of VWAP. If it ends up holding this, great. I think we can maybe just think it's going to work the short like yesterday, but that's still a wipeout bottom through the low and could put in a higher low and then break out. So the stop is still going to be at the actual post-open high, not the high, like the pre-market high, none of that stuff, that post-high. So Meta looking weak, Apple looking okay, and BABA, whoever was that seller at 170.5, still in control. Like it hasn't really caught any kind of a bid. So I don't want to be in a rush when the market's breaking through the lows to reload this when it's past the volume weighted average price, which was my entry. Might just be waiting for the 167 if we never regain VWAP here in BABA. You guys let us know what's relatively strong, what you guys are interested in. I know there's so much that was moving today. The visualizer has Beyond Meat at the top of it, believe it. It's like we mentioned Tesla, we already mentioned Meta, and then Beyond Meat is literally at the top of that list. I just paid for locates to look for a 150 short on this thing. I just never really believe in it when it goes up.
Yeah, no, I thought Meta, because I knew Meta was rallying from yesterday. Yeah, I didn't realize that it was going to the downside. And what I meant by there's some traders, like I was just thinking that the 620 level, like it's a level and we're back into it right now. So that's what I was saying. Like there's people that have been buying this 3 days now in a row that we've tested down into here, 620. It's not looking great. Like honestly, it's underneath the 200 period moving average. There's a reason why I'm not dip buying Meta, but I could see, like, you know, if the Nasdaq somehow gets a rally under it like it did yesterday, and you saw Meta pop yesterday, huge. So maybe there's a potential for that to happen again today for Meta. But let's go back over, man. We're absolutely rocking with Google. I really like Samsara. We've talked about that one. So on some sort of dip buys, I want to get some more money involved with IoT. I really like this stock. That's going to be hopefully a big play for me moving forward. We talked about Palantir trying to get to 190. It's kind of doing that a little bit now. And it just went to 190.50. So they're just battling back after their earnings, right? And so we'll see if they can make that move back. You already talked about SMCI. I wanted to look at Netflix. Netflix is only now a couple days away from their split. So they're going to split on, where's Adair at?
I don't.
Was it November the?
It's as of the open on November 17th. Shareholders as of record November 10th at the close.
Okay, so there you go. So the 17th, so we still have, what day is it, day 6? So we still got 11 calendar days, probably 7 or 8 trading days left before Netflix eventually comes to market at a 10th the price. So they're going to go 10 to 1. So Netflix, if it splits now, it'll be $108 stock, and we'll be happy with that. So we'll see what happens with Netflix on that split, and they have not been. And the reason why I called up Netflix is similar to Meta, where you're just, I mean, not similar to Meta because it's hovering around the 200 period. Meta's well below it. But this is a name here that does have a catalyst of the reverse split. But remember, that's already announced. Sorry, reverse split. Of the split, that's already announced. So I don't want to buy it on that news. I'm going to wait to get some more Netflix shares in the old account when it finally does split. So the only trade so far here for me is this one. It's Google. Look, yesterday we had an I don't know what it was, $7 winner on Palantir. But by the time it was that far up, we didn't have any shares left. So I don't want to dump this. Like we're at a good, we've met our goal right now if I get out. But let's see if we can extend that a little further here on what should be a get-up trade here for the Nasdaq. Like we've got a strong name, we're in it at a great level. We followed our rules. So on that note, I'm going to get one more piece out here in the 90s, which we just did, and then we'll see how high Google can fly, man. 287.50 is my next area of concern. So we're going to wait for that. Big trade alert here is all I can tell you for me on Google, and we'll all try to tell you the best. I know Sharif and these guys, they go crazy when they've got on, not go crazy, but tell you when it's a bigger trade. So I'm trying to do the same thing right here. This is a big trade for me. It came right into our level. Booyaka! There it goes, man. That is your face slapper right there as we now get $3 in on this name. Google, we like it, man. But there it goes, man. Upside on GOGGLE.
Absolutely. Great look on Alphabet. And someone in the chat's like, I'm going long beyond me. You can go either direction on these bad boys. Fair enough. I'm just looking for a false break at 150 or even the current high to fade it. And the reason because of that is, well, the stock speaks for itself. Look at the chart. Most of the times when it gets a bump, it's a better short than anything else. So it's breaking out right now. I'm looking for a false break, get back underneath. I'm not short. I'm not just going to stand in front of a moving freight train. That's not the way to go. I like trend breaks. I like resistance. Like SMCI, it held VWAP. Said if it holds VWAP and uptrends, I don't reload and I get out when it breaks a high. Simple rule. Don't reload, get out if it breaks a high. Do not want to fight the stock. Alibaba is disappointing. It doesn't seem to want to get back. It's barely holding the volume weighted average price here. So it's trying to close a second time above, but the initial move was basically the best that you could get. I'm waiting for the second salvo in this bad boy, but let's go take care of some business.
Yeah, Google's 288. This is crazy. But you can get involved in other ways in this market. And we want to thank Global X for their continued sponsorship of the show because they do have an exciting opportunity for everybody here, and that is their triple levered ETF. So we talked about the TQs here. They have a similar product here in Canada. 3 times bull, 3 times bear exposure to the S&P. Wow, Google. TSX 60 semiconductors and U.S. Treasuries. They are also lowering management fees into 2025 to December 31st of just 65 basis points, offering you a bigger potential. They do have U.S.-focused strategies that use currency hedging, offering the pure performance exposure that you are looking for. If you're tactical, sophisticated trader, go hit them up. It's Global X and their Beta Pro product. But there it goes. Wow, what a day, man. We said that we were going to try to do something special, and Google gave us that opportunity. And there it is, man, all the way to the upside there. It's a $3 winner, so 1, 2, and 3, and now we just chill. And we wait for better opportunities like that Alibaba. We wrote that down. We don't have that one coming in yet. We do like SoFi, man. SoFi is a big trade, and we'll see what that can do here today. Off $30. I really like SoFi. Go, Google. We also have MRVL as well. Looking to see if we can get a 95 bid there. And then I don't want to leave IONQ alone, but it's dancing around the levels that we talked about here, $56. So maybe something happening on IONQ, but really it's Google that's leading the way, man, here today. And I'm just going to start piecing a little bit out. The move has basically happened. You know, pigs get slaughtered. Although we want to always make more money, at some point, you know, trades do come to an end. And not yet, though, for Google. We'll see if it can get back here. It's already been to 290 today. If we're going to use anything like aggressive outs, you could get out if it breaks the 200 period again to the downside. That would still be quite a nice winner. That's at 286.80. So that would be something there. So I'm cautiously worried about it. I'm going to get out 10% more right here at 50s, and then we'll just sort of continue with the good feels here on the Google long.
Yeah, and speaking of longs, there isn't one in AMD. AMD seems like it's the one that is looking absolutely the worst here. When I saw that tank, I'm like, okay, I'm going to work myself in. I still believe in the chip short, so I got to go back over to SMCI. No, this thing is bleeding. 4% to the downside. Absolutely getting wrecked. Nothing in sight in terms of bids here, and support, in theory, at the open, where all the trends were. The 2 working trends yesterday were both from the open at $243. I kind of left those in there by accident, so it kind of works out. The 243 might be a spot that you look for, but it's absolutely bleeding relative to, I mean, look, NVIDIA is going down too, but NVIDIA is only red now. I think this could be an opportunity potentially for MRVL because the prior high at least could hold bid, but I'm thinking it's probably smarter to look for a trend break because this is way too bad for some of the chip names in here. Snapchat is finally looking to close above the volume weighted average price. It just held. So if it can do this nice little close above, maybe break out locally, might get myself into a Snapchat long. You had to be really, really patient for this. I mean, look at it try to fill in that gap. But it's a bit of a squeeze play with Snapchat here. Good earnings for them. And of course, a Perplexity deal as well. And apparently you have some super chats to get to. One Fly. Good morning. You just got into Figma. Another earnings name, Figma. Lots of things that we didn't really get to in June when it broke trend on the weekly. What is your read on the technicals of tonight's earnings? Well, Figma, if memory is served, it made all-time lows yesterday. I want to say, without even looking at it, first time, I'm pretty sure this was an all-time low yesterday and bouncing. So the good news is, well, my rule of thumb is if it doesn't break the low, there's only one place to go. So it made an all-time low yesterday. It's now attempting to hold it. It's not a bad support level. I just absolutely am never liking getting involved in something as it's busting down. You know, like let it make a base. Like even if it fails that base eventually, like let it make a base. Or break trend. Like there's a downtrend, close above a downtrend, and then work to the upside. So maybe for a day trade, you could bounce it off of that low or something for Figma, but this has been bleeding for a while. These kind of charts, I just don't like them until they make a rounded bottom. Short some kind of consolidation.
Was it Figs or Figma?
It was Figma, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Oh, was it? Oh, my bad. Was it Figs, not Figma?
I don't know. I didn't really see it.
It was Figs. That's my bad. I make the assumption of the stock that I'm more familiar with. So
all right, next.
That's on me.
Oh, we'll do Figs in a second then. What's next?
I don't even know what Figs is.
Do you see Microsoft bounce from this level today? All right, let me have a quick look at this one quickly, and then we can do another one. $500. I didn't realize we were all the way down here for Softy actually. So another great look at wow. Microsoft down 10% in a week, guys. Okay. Great question, Rattle.
Ooh.
No, I don't like it. I like Google long.
That looks like a short.
Yeah, so I was gonna say like this is a daily chart right here. The fact that we double touched the top there, that's not a great sign to fade off of that. You'd like to hit it, come back, and at least hold the 50 period. So I would say you're dead right on the levels. I'm glad you guys are watching the show and maybe now starting to think about things like this, but like this probably drops. We've already seen what Meta can do when it gives it up. So I would just be very, very careful of this little level here. I think if you're gonna go long Rattle on 5 bills, then you don't wanna hold it too far past. Like if you set your stop order in and around, and it's going to be tight, man, but 490 right into there, I think that's, and it depends, right? Depends what kind of time frame you have and all that, right? Like if you have 100 shares and you're looking to buy 25 right here, then you don't have to panic on that out. But if you are holding a bigger position and looking to say, hey, I'm thinking about like what to do next, I would say a 490 break, let it settle down. And if you miss it, you miss it. But that would be a good little level for me. But if you're starting a new position and you're looking for opportunity right now, I don't think this is a horrible spot for Microsoft at all. I think this is a dip buy opportunity that we've seen hold before. It goes all the way back to July. So yeah, the fact that we've had this whole AI, this whole chat GPT, all these deals, everything happened, and you could buy a stock like Microsoft back at summer levels, I think it's reasonable to think that this level could hold. So again, thanks for the super chat there, Rattle, and I guess we have one more.
I'm a single dad of 5, and Sean Neal have changed our lives.
Ooh.
I've been watching for a year and a half and taken my account from 30K to over 450K. Thank you, tradertv.live, Canadian Capital, go Google. Shout out to you, Jonathan. Congratulations. We appreciate you. I will look at Figs. That's my bad. Sometimes we're reading it fast, and you know, Figma I'm familiar with. Figs I don't know.
They're so tasty though.
Oh my goodness! Don't even get me started. I'm always hungry. No, Figs, before the report, I'm not a fan of trading things, getting into position. Now, holding through report I will do if I like the company, no issues with that. Most times, if it's in the money like this and I have bottoms, I'm trimming going into earnings. That's what I did for ARM and up or down. Like that's the way I look at it. But ultimately, Like, it's hard not to ever want to ring the register on a double up going into like a second earnings print from the lows. Like, it's a double. You got yourself a double if you got the bottom. If you have the 200 period moving average, you've got yourself 50% that you can lock in on a name like this, which is at a pretty hefty resistance zone. So good uptrend. You could always just hold with a stop if it breaks the trend under the 50. But then the thing with earnings is it gaps through that, and then what do? That's why I don't like it, because my thought with ARM is if I don't take anything out and then ARM is down 20%, my trailing stop would be useless. So that's usually my attitude to those before earnings. We got another super chat in here. I don't like that wick that I just saw. I'm seeing, I should say, an SMCI at VWAP.
The market is wicking lower.
Yeah, well, the market's wicking lower. This broke VWAP and someone immediately bought it back up. Or like the market immediately bought it up. It doesn't have to be somebody. So I'm gonna pop down in VWAP. If I get it, I'll think about a reload. But I guess sight's set on that 43 now on AMD. When this is happening, the reversion's pretty juicy if there is one. And 243 is like, it's a post-market earnings level. It was yesterday at the open. It's trying to battle with 45. If it gets down there, I'll look for some kind of a bottoming tail or trend reversal pattern on AMD. It's that, potentially a reload in SMCI, I'm not sold there, and Apple, which is now trending higher. So Apple at VWAP. I can stick a fork in 267, I think, at this point, because the market's continuing to make lows, and Apple's making higher lows. So the notion of actually getting the dip that I wanted is pretty much gone, so I'm going to get my bid at VWAP there, but I have to eyeball AMD now. The way it's falling, it could be at 43 in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, this market is absolutely cranking.
It's the chips that's taking it.
Yeah, we're sitting here. We're still fine. I told you we were emptying out the clip up here, but here comes Google in, debating a reload. 284.50 is going to be something. So if we can come into 284.50, I think we'll try that right there for Google on a reload. So 284.50 or so for me over there is what we're going to wait for right now. I just heard you mention Bitcoin. We do have a number. Maybe we should go to Adara. In just a couple minutes. I thought we had something coming out today. 52.4 I'm hearing in my ear. I don't even remember what it was, but we've got Adara right now with happening now.
Yeah, unclear what this 52.4 is. I looked into it. I'm not seeing anything right now. We do have a lot of stuff happening, though, in 1 hour at 11. That's going to be a couple Fed speakers, Feds William and Barr, and certainly of more, I think, interest here is going to be Trump making an announcement. Now, we haven't seen a confirmation as to what the announcement's about, but yesterday, CBS did report that Trump would be making an announcement with regards to drug prices, specifically weight loss drug prices with Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk. Now, we don't have that confirmation, but that is, at least from what I've seen, that's what people are expecting to be discussed today. I do want to mention, Sean, the number was Canadian IV PMI. That was the 52.4 number, which was actually below the previous print, but I'm not seeing a forecast. But that's Canadian number. No U.S. prints coming through at 10 a.m. But again, stay tuned for 11. Market dropping. Here is TSLA, which has a catalyst that's going to be on watch later today. Tesla is set to have its annual shareholder meeting, and we'll find out what the voting was on Elon Musk's $1 trillion pay package. We know a lot of retail shareholders likely to vote in favor. We already know some institutions, including Norway Sovereign Wealth Fund, or the group that manages that, have voted against, so should be an interesting one. So many day one earnings plays today, guys. You can find this infographic on X at TDV Research. Just a quick rundown of some of the many names that reported earnings, but we have Duolingo down 27%. Elf slated to have its worst day since 2018. AppLovin gapped up. Now it's actually red on the day, so tons of volatility on these earnings plays, guys. Lots to look at. And we have another exciting slate of earnings names reporting after the bell today, including Opendoor, DraftKings, Block, Affirm, Airbnb, and even more. Check with the market recap with myself and Sean at 4 p.m. Eastern for all of these reports. But before we send you back to the guys, we're going to take a moment to thank our friends at Oragenics, OGEN. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., but there still is no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Oragenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Oragenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more. Schedule a meeting today. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let's give it to Neil and Sean.
over here.
Well, it was down on SMCI, and SMCI is at the low of the day again.
The market is not stopping.
Honestly, today, AMD's Adam Oates on that trade. Why? Because it gets the assist. AMD is not stopping. There's a theoretical support at that 243. Trust me when I tell you, there was nobody home at 243 when it got there.
Knock, knock.
Like sometimes you'll look at a level, it's like, I might consider buying down there. And then you see what's going on, and like nobody in their right mind would hit a bid key when you saw it 243. 240, this is now getting parabolic downside. The Nasdaq is now 1.2% to the downside. I wanted to say 1.25, but not just yet. So you're now at yesterday's lows. So forget about the overnight lows. You're talking about this support from like the overnight yesterday at 25.4. So when it snaps like this, even VWAP is $7 away. If 240 holds, I'm taking a shot on AMD, and I'll revisit SMCI in a quick little second. By the way, Apple's holding up gorgeously. Apple's literally above VWAP and trying to break out 270. Because
there goes Google.
It's at Apple. It's the AI thing. I just feel like Apple's when AI drops, Apple doesn't seem to care. All right, the buyers are starting to step into AMD for the first time. Oh, I thought I just hit 42. To give you an idea how weak AMD is right now, I just went to hit 242 when it broke 242, and I got filled under 242. That's how fast the sellers came into that just now. Like, it was trying to break out the even dollar, and you can't even punch above the even dollar. That's how fast they're selling it back through. Well, I'm not going to give it through this bottom here either way. It's a nasty move to the downside, everybody. And from what I can tell, and you correct me if I'm wrong, AMD seems like it's taking the worst of it. If there's something that was kind of regressing even more, let me know. Tesla went red. It's down 1.3%. But the only thing holding up, and I'll stay on AMD for a second here, is Apple. Apple's still trying to put in higher lows. I am sitting, I thought I was. I'm not. I thought I was sitting at VWAP there.
We're finally hitting Google.
Yeah, I'm sitting on VWAP on Apple. It's the only thing holding up, but you potentially have the first green candle coming here in AMD. If it doesn't hold green, I can't really add to this. I'll just have to stop it out at the low of the day. And I'm shorting pops in SMCI, but
we should have been short.
This is crazy, the way that this is actually dumping. Because every time I see it pop back up to that even dollar, someone's just smacking it down. Like heavy.
Oh boy.
So if that releases, this could go to like 45 pretty quickly, I would think. But for now, the sell-off is it's intense. Let's put it that way, intense. And I know there's lots of other names we'll get to, but when the market's doing this, we can't cover like DraftKings and Robinhood when this is happening to some of the chips.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's going to be a rebound here or not, but yeah, Nvidia is bleeding. You just covered AMD. Nvidia's back down to 193. So we got stopped out there. It broke 84, so we got stopped. But I do kind of want to try it again, but this is the stuff that I'm trying to get away from, is I keep on going back into some of these wells over and over and over again. So I'm going to give it one more shot here at O's, and then just see and hold it to that low of 283.50. So, and that's going to be it. Like, we don't want to. We've talked about how we've sort of changed up the style, especially now. Well, it's not change up the style, but just be a little bit more conservative because of the moves that have been happening in the futures. It's not worth like suffering through all of this. The Nasdaq was positive today, man, and it hasn't caught a bid. So to sit down here and hope for something to happen is not the right strategy. You have to punch out when punching out is required. Yeah, and then just say to myself, like, okay, I missed that move, right? So we just took another out there at 50 for Google. So we'll just massage this. Sorry, that was 35s. We'll just massage this back and forth a little bit. And then if it does break lower, so we got 35 cents there. We're trying to hold it for 50 cents on the downside, and definitely not closing our eyes to what this market is doing. It's we're wide awake right now as the market tries to find a bid, and it just doesn't have it.
Be more awake with another coffee.
Yeah. Gotta go get some more coffees. Again, without Randy here, we're kind of
I was going to go.
Okay, there goes Google again. So now that we're more than 1-to-1 in the money, and as our best stock continues to get better, let's just continue to piece out a little bit. I'm getting out like 2 to 3% at a time, so that if it does rally, we have something back on this name, right? I mean, but we are being very, very cautious of what the market's doing. So this is part of the strategies that we're dealing with here. Oh my gosh, I just got,
Oh yeah, we've always had Marvell, right? We have such a small piece. Marvell broke 95, and I'm not even paying attention to this thing. Alibaba, we are now 50 cents in the money. So, I mean, this is a good trade. Let's offer some 50s here, see if we can get, there we go, see if we can get out. Sorry, it was 47s. See if we can get out there, and we just did. There's the 67 long that we talked about, right? So far, so good on that one. Alibaba, we have just a couple trades. We wrote down Alibaba long 167. We have it. Let's see if there's a battle to the back end of that one. Let's give this 50 cents. We just took 50 cents, 166.48. Stop out. So there we go. We're all in right now, and we're ready to go. So we've got the positions we want. It's just, will the market pay attention or not? Small hits, hopefully big gains. Let's see what winds up happening here with Alibaba.
Yeah, BABA just broke trend for me, so this is the candle that I'm waiting for to close. It's going to. I think it's going to. Hopefully. So I think it's a good look there. AMD immediately tried. It did hold that 242, so I was able to add to it. Then immediately it rejected the first, not the next dollar, the first $0.50 it got to. So I jumped some out and then reloaded it. The other thing that's happening right now is Apple's starting to pull back into the volume weighted average price. Now keep in mind here, Apple's one of the few things that was holding up well, so not good for the market if Apple just blows through VWAP. But I am sitting there to get long, and as I said, they really held the first $0.50 on AMD on that trend break. So I took some out to limit the damage when I saw the seller, but I did not move my stop. I'm not going to fight that one. Took the shot on the first green candle that it had on that move. I think it's worth it on a mean reversion, but again, I'm not going to fight it through the prior bar low. It's still at a spot where it could hold the absolute low and give another entry, but it's still the sellers in very much control. BABA finally confirmed. I'm going to show you on this chart because I didn't draw a trend line on the other one. So Alibaba did hold above the trend line and closed the candle above. So to me, I'm going to get into it. My orders still show on that, but I'm going to get into this here. It's, for me, I'm still looking at the same names. There's way too much happening not to. Apple, BABA, SMCI, and now AMD. Looks like it's trying to make that go of it again. So I'm going to give this one more shot. I feel like usually I'd give it 3, but if this doesn't go when the market bounces off of yesterday's overnight lows, then it's not worth it a third time, in my opinion.
All right, there it is, man. Cash register time again, man. 70 cents now for Alibaba, as that's now a 70-cent winner. So we'll take some more out to the upside here. And again, just following the rules, man. It's not, we write them down for a reason. We write down our levels. We take the levels, and there it goes, man. We're almost back to our day's high, despite losing out a little bit there on our first Google drop that fell back in a little bit for us there, Google. So yeah, we're on that name, and we're gonna wait to see what winds up happening there. But there it goes, Google, yeah. Nice little dollar winner again on the back end of this trade. So yeah, so far so good. Back up to day's high for myself, and I hope you guys are having some luck as well. Now, Neil, there goes Alibaba. I know we both written down 167, but if you're looking, this is what we did right there. Today's trades, man, we're in every single one of these. We're in Marvell long at 95, but this one, I have like 2% of the shares I have in everything else. That was just catching that falling knife. We're going to see what winds up happening there. Alibaba 167, we felt a little bit more confident taking that trade because it had bounced around a little bit. We get Alibaba at 167. And then the Google 285 has really been something pretty good to watch that long. The 285 hasn't held though. We are dancing around now 284 and change. So definitely a tipsy-turvy here in this current marketplace for me anyways. So let's give this one, again, a little bit of room for Google. We're giving it down to 283.50. We've really nailed it pretty good there. Alibaba's now $1. We might as well take $1 on this one if we can. Oh, we just offered 96, and you just saw what happened there. So there it is. We got out there, I think. No, we're actually at 90. There we go. So there's the out there for us on Alibaba. Pretty happy with that. We only have about half. Actually, we only have 40% left on that one for the dollar. So again, yeah, man, things going well. We do have Williams and Barr speaking at 11, so we're going to pay attention to see if anything's going on there with those jokers. But for right now, man, Marvell flat, Alibaba $1, and Google 70 cents. And AMD has been a surprise.
AMD's now bouncing a little bit here. Look, it's obviously a surprise that it did this move. Like, should it be? I don't know. Like, some people would tell you, okay, you had the relief rally, and the second it gave up support, there was the whole gap to be filled back in. Maybe. I jumped back into it, stopped same spot. But it's Apple also. Look, the Perplexity news potentially, sorry, the not Perplexity, that's Snapchat with Perplexity.
Yeah.
Their Gemini. The Gemini news, I think, is great for them, but it's not going to matter if the market just continues dumping. I'm just going to sneak in front of the volume weighted average price. Like if I can't get filled, pretty much at VWAP exactly, I'll take like a third in right now because I missed it the last time and I don't want to completely miss out on this trade. Once it breaks the trend, I can add to it, or it bounced clean off VWAP, I can also add there. The other thing is SMCI went to low of the day, right back to the high of the day, and now back through VWAP. That was fast. I wanted this wick, I couldn't get it. Way too fast. It went 42.8 to 42.5 in a matter of like a second or two. Now that it's broken down, I want to stick with this one to the south side. Just has to be above VWAP into 42.6 is the level that I want on SMCI. So if it gets all the way to the low, that'll be a fail for me because this was the name that I actually liked short today. There wasn't really much in terms of shorts that I liked, and this was obviously one of them. AMD just can't get out of its own way. It's done $1 bounce and then keeps on revisiting and bouncing off of those lows. I missed that headline, but hopefully you guys just caught it.
What was it?
No, I don't.
Oh, you missed it.
There was a headline there. I didn't see it. So there was nothing in my ear. No. So I'm going to assume that it was nothing that pertinent. Apple's still strong. Man, Tesla breaking down these lows. There's not much in terms of strength, everybody. So if you're looking for longs, you've got to be really patient. To me, it's going to be trend breaks. If I don't see something break a trend to the downside, like a clean trend on my 3-minute, then I don't want that long, unless in the case of Apple here, it's putting in higher lows. Like this one's actually on trend. Oh.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh, that's not really that big of a deal.
No, actually, it's funny because I talked about Penn the other day, and I was like, we haven't talked about this since Portnoy.
Nobody talks about it.
And there it is right now. So getting back involved in there, and of course, Dave Portnoy was initially bought out by Penn. Over there, got back into it, I guess, and now we're going to find out.
For cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. So now we're going to find out exactly what that was all about as he gets back.
Get it, Davey, day
back into it right there. Yeah, the guy's
because awesome. he smoked it. It's like anytime you can pull that off, it's just absolutely genius.
Yep, yeah, good move there by Dave Portnoy.
Good on him.
We'll see what that story is and what that means for Penn in just a second. Well, we can go over there and look now. Actually, Penn. I'm not doing too much right here. I do got to go get. What's up, JB? Does say let's get these guys some coffee.
I love Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller, yeah, I saw them in Vegas actually. That was really sweet at the Mirage, and that was amazing.
My daughter's obsessed with their Fool Us show.
Yeah, they had all the tigers and all that kind of stuff going on there. Wait a minute, was it Penn and Teller or was it? No, it was the other guy with the tigers, the guy that got eaten by one or whatever.
Not Siegfried and Roy?
Yes, Siegfried and Roy. That's
that
what
right?
it was. Yes,
okay.
100%. That's
yeah,
what it was. It was not
didn't one of them
Teller.
pass away?
Yeah, I think one of them had an accident with one of the animals. I think. I don't.
That's unfortunate.
Please don't at me for that one. I didn't even get their names right.
I think you're right.
But yeah, so that was Penn and Teller, though, awesome magicians and everything. A lot of fun, apparently. Penn and Tellers. All right, yeah, catching falling knives here is not something that I don't think anybody around here is trying to do. So, yeah, we have our out for Google coming in, and we had just exited, stage left again. We talked about trying to fade all of these prints, and the futures today are sick, down 1.2%. We did not expect that. So yeah, trade cautiously with everything basically once again. So keep the good feels, but right now it's not great feels, that's for sure. So Google making new lows here. I'm getting out at 183, 283.50, which means I'll take a little bit more here just because I think the risk to reward profile matters in this case. So let's get a little bit in again for Google if it does come back. There we go. We just take a little bit of a dip buy. So now we do have that trade for us. So let's wait to see if that can make moves a little bit higher here now for Google as we just took a little bit of a dip buy. Let's offer something out here at O's as we just got, what, 70s there? 80s. So it's not even like a huge trade, but if it can come back to the upside, we'll just start to sort of, not aggressively, but take it out 5% at a time at some of these levels. I don't mind that as a trade.
Iggy Sosa, instead of catching fallen knives, I'm riding waterfalls. That's a good look.
Yeah.
The only thing, I hate you, Apple.
TLC. Don't
TLC. They didn't make as money as they should have. TLC. And obviously, I kind of keystroke out of Apple, so it happens. It happens. I didn't have an offer out when this spiked up. I was actually still trying to get long, and so I just hit offer enter and got rid of everything. It's now still breaking out. This is the only stock that is trending.
Let's go, Google!
7 that's trending up. But you know what? AMD is trying to break trend as well. So I'm going to buy the next available dip on this because it's strong and nothing else is. This is looking a little distinctly different. It's run the bottom a couple times on AMD, but now it has a chance to at least put in a higher low. But I think Apple should be a little bit of a priority as well. But super strong move over there in Apple. AMD is trying to go, and someone said they are, let me get this out of the way because someone actually mentioned Forge, and I'm an idiot because I was long this at the open and it hit 44. I believe this is the cash price of 45 to whomever said they were short at 44. It's trading above the risk-free rate, which is a little bit dangerous. The risk-free rate I calculated at about 43.8. If that doesn't make sense to you, you probably shouldn't be trading buyouts. If it does make sense to you, do with that as you would like. That's just my 2 cents. You should know things like the risk-free rate if you're trading a cash buyout.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't probably nobody is, but that's part of getting.
So the guy said he's short at 44.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I'm not saying it's a bad position. I just think it can be dangerous when a stock is trading day one above the.
Oh yeah. Good look there, and of course Neil we know trades those. All right, so we trade Google over here, and there it goes, man. Another dollar upside there off of our reload. Let's see if it can keep going. Alibaba now an absolute, like we said, man, an absolute smoker back there to the upside. Now $1.25 in on that one as we just continue to watch out for that play, and we are taking a little bit more in MRVL, so we just averaged it in against 94. Let's see if this name can get going today. MRVL. I'm gonna take another piece out maybe on Alibaba. We're at the 50-period moving average. Let's go to 168.50 in case we do get a bump up. We're out of 70% of this already, so hopefully Alibaba will continue. Look, we took out basically, these are each like 15% or so to the upside, so, and then we just got another fill right there at 168.20, so that's sort of the math that I'm doing. In a market that's being faded, we got the Alibaba price that we posted, right? I mean, and if you're wondering what exactly I'm talking about, it's right here. It's on the sticky note. You get it free every single day. I started the show by saying this is my #1 trade, Alibaba. So it's a good talk from Jensen about China chips and a deal with XPEV for robo-taxis. Long. That's it, 167. So when it came into 167, we took it right there, and boom, goes the dynamite to the upside. So we're pretty happy, obviously, with that trade, as we'll wait to see what MRVL can do. I'm going to take out one more piece here. There it is at 54s on Google. And okay, I'm going to take out one more piece at 75 if we can get that, as it's starting to go a little bit higher right now, back into us for sure. All right, we do have a look of the broader markets here. It's already 10:20. So at 10:30, we have natural gas coming through as well. So, you know, if you're looking at nat gas plays, there could be something there for you. But today, man, I'm just going to refresh this, make sure this is all accurate before I just, you know, last thing I want to do is cover something that's not happening. Nvidia, pretty red today in the chip space, but it's obviously led by this guy right here, as Neil's been covering it, AMD right there. So AMD red today, Tesla red today, Amazon, Walmart, Costco getting kicked in the face, down 3% today. Don't know what's up with that. Thankfully, we own some Eli Lilly shares, a lot of them, and that's up 0.1%, sorry. So that's a good little take for Eli Lilly. We do have news from Adara, so we're gonna, I did hear let's go to Adara, but you tell me, Andre, if we are ready for that. So that was very polite of you, Andre. Let's go over to Adara.
Yeah, before we get here into the small cap situation, I want to take a moment to talk about CRCL. CRCL circle here, pretty weak. Now it seems like this is apparently Coinbase is pretty weak as well, but I did look up, I guess around 17 minutes ago, Circle announced on their website they've submitted a comment letter on the implementation of the Genius Act. I read through this pretty briefly. It doesn't really seem to be anything super significant, just saying how they would like the Genius Act to be implemented. If I see a little bit more, I will keep you guys posted, but either way here, Circle, that's the only news that I found on this. Social media attention on this, mostly just along the lines of why is it dropping? So nothing really to help there. Let's start up with our small caps, or in this case, I'm going to be real, just more smaller caps. They're all going to be earnings names from last night or today. Oscar Health is the first one. Again, not a super small market cap here. They did miss on sales, but smaller than expected loss per share, and the midpoint of their sales guidance for fiscal 25 beat estimates. Then you've got Krispy Kreme, DNUT. This one beating here actually posting an unexpected profit, but sales came in a little below estimates. We know this one had a bit of a meme move, for lack of better terms, a couple weeks ago or last week. And then we had, last but not least, STGW Stagwell, another earnings play. This one here certainly removed from the its pre-market high after gapping up, but another name to watch. Right now trading around $6.50. Before we send you back to Sean and Neil, I want to take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. Because for too long, trading meant risking your own money or never having enough to start. The fear of losing. That's what kept so many traders on the sidelines. But that is changing because Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. With its limited risk trading model, traders use capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit the profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. That's no fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading, powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Back to Neil and Sean.
Thank you, Adara. So Circle, I was saying AMD was like the weakest stock. No, it was like Circle was the one maybe bleeding even worse than that. But it did, and Tesla did the same thing at almost the same moment. The entire downtrend broke. I drew this really poorly, but imagine it. Can I shift the whole thing? I can't shift the whole thing. It doesn't actually work that way. But it broke trend just now, so I'm long. I'm giving it to the 5. Tesla also broke trend. I tried to add to Tesla the second time through, 453 quarter, or it was actually the $0.50. Didn't pick it up, but this also a bit of a trend break. Tesla, the only story here for Tesla, I mean, the market's going down, so it can essentially just fall in the market, of course, is the vote, which is at 95% chance that Elon's pay package is going to get passed. So as much as I think that's bullish, the market was tanking, so it tanked with it. You have pre-market, lows don't matter. The opening range bottom was 58. This ended up holding here at 10 o'clock and then being resistance after the fact. So I'm thinking not VWAP, but that 458 level there on Tesla. A little bit different what's happening on the trend break though in Circle. Like this breaks trend, look at the bottoming tail candle and then it breaks trend, then shoots up. That's what you want on a trend break. Circle breaks trend and is still in the exact same spot it was before. It's like Tesla pops $1.50 right away, Circle's still at the exact same price. So one of these things is not like the other. Don't need to tell you which.
Okay, guys, we have 3 trades today. Another dollar on MRVL. Here goes MRVL, man. Our average price is $94.60. It's at $95.60 right now. So far today, this is just what we've done. IONQ, whoops. MRVL, nice. Alibaba, now $1.50 in the money. And then Google, $1. And I mean, we've taken multiple dollars out of Google, but right now we're trying to get a little bit more into that one as well. But I'm going to cancel most of these Google trades and just wait for a higher bid now. I'm going to go to 184.20 to get out of something. Sorry, 185.20 and then up to 186 where VWAP is right there and see if we can get out like a bigger part if it does get back up to that level. But so far so good, and we just calmed down right now with everything as we're now really ripping. There goes MRVL back up, man. We wrote down 95 for MRVL, and so there's $1 clean on that one. We could probably post that. I've been posting these all up on, this is what I'm saying, like, pretty much, like, I love coming in every day. Like, obviously my voice isn't where it should be, but the trades are exactly where they should be. I mean, on our note, this is exactly what we had written down. So it's been a really good opportunity to sit here and play dip buys. We said that yesterday that we sort of have a new kind of a plan of action here, and that's what we've been doing today. So we haven't looked at Beyond Meat though. I'm gonna let some of these just chill, right? Like, so let's let them sort of marinate a little bit here. But Beyond Meat right now is, we talked about that 150. It did have a 150 in it, and then it dropped back in again, and now it's barcoding. So you wanna look for that break of VWAP of 144 to see if that can come in. We have Big Bear AI earnings next week. That's getting hit, that's down 5%. Now today, after a good start for Big Bear, but then a whoops as we go to the downside. We've been talking about leaving this one alone until we do get more of a look on earnings for Big Bear AI. And then today, Open Door again off that $7 mark has been a good trade. And guess where we are again right now? Back down to $7, looking to see if we can get some sort of a pump or at least a move from 7 again here on Open Door. So like that's kind of what's going on. You mentioned Oscar's a name that I have. That's We did good getting out where we wound up getting out, some of it anyways, up into the 20s, somewhere around here. When it had that move and then was dancing, we got out. We talked about that. Not really happy with the way it's been performing over the last little while as UNH has come back in as well, and so does Oscar. So nice trade today. I'm not going to get it. I'm long before earnings was down here. As I said, we let it sort of levitate up. We actually should have got out here when we noticed this 23 top, but as it fell back in, we got something out around here. I can double check after what percentage it was exactly, but nice move down and bouncing clean off. I don't know if that print actually happened or if that was a earnings print, but $16 is your 200 period moving average.
I don't think.
Yeah.
It was an aftermarket.
Yeah. Okay.
It was an aftermarket like flush print. I didn't have the level 2 up to see if it was actually real. What's up with Chipotle? We'll get to Chipotle in a quick little second. Ben Weiss in the chat. Circle did not hold on to that bid. Remember, it just could not go. Doesn't hold on to the 105. Right back to the lows for Circle. If this goes SSR, that could be a different story. My goodness, Apple. Yeah, Apple.
Yes.
Apple's now at 272. I literally just canceled a VWAP order. This is now broken out 71.
Finally.
This is finally gone and gone through this resistance. Sometimes when the market or like big institutions really like something, they'll like hold it sideways for accumulation. And it seems like that was the case here for Apple. And then when it lets go, you can see what happens. It completely lets go. I don't know what's going on with Chipotle because I haven't looked at it, Ben. But remember, they did, these guys did have a rough go of it on earnings. And so far as I can tell, yeah, it's still making lower highs. So Chipotle looks like earnings continuation. Like it's holding the bottom, can't really break much out. And when the market rolls over, it just kind of resumed what it was already doing. New fresh lows. I believe it just made a fresh low through 31 here on Chipotle, down 3%. Hasn't been a good look for them at all.
No,
it's a tough. It's tough. It wasn't good for Kava. Of course, I just typed blue ocean. It's always blue ocean on the drop down first.
Wait till it has moon there.
Come on, load up. I mean, same thing for Kava. Look, Kava, actually, oddly enough, is also at the low of the day. There, it should now finally load for you. Yeah, low of the day, new fresh lows on Kava. So they're all bleeding at this point, except for Apple.
All right.
Like Apple's an absolute rocket ship. I keep saying the next available dip. I want to get back in. There hasn't been a red candle on the 3-minute in Apple since 10:06. Like 23 minutes ago, it put one in, and that was the buying opportunity. I'm going to buy the next available one, if there even is one at this point. Apple is too strong at this point.
Always, it's always nice when the trade follows through. Yesterday we bought that live on the show, Apple, when we heard that news that was from Bloomberg about Gemini, and I think that's a game changer for Apple. So I put more into the old 401k or long-term trading there because realize that I like that stock, Apple. Of course, it's always nice when you look down and I get a message. So I love you too, Marissa. Thank you for messaging me that. It's always a nice little boost when you get that kind of stuff because, trading, of course, as we sit here, can be very, very frustrating. But, make sure that you follow your rules. And, there'll always be tomorrow. So get out if you're wrong. And if you're right, try to do the best that you can. We have 3 trades on board. They're all dollar clubs. So we just took out MRVL a little bit more right there. As I don't know if it's failing or not, but that's went up to 96 again. And as we said, in this kind of a marketplace, not worth standing around and waiting for more than that because you're already up down 1% today and the market just bounced off clean pretty easily off that 50-period moving average. It didn't even look like it wanted to do anything with it right there. Alibaba has been a really clean move as well off of 167, bouncing off VWAP. I was like 1 penny away basically from getting that VWAP. So I was at 74s. It went to 73s there. So what can you do about that one except for hopefully gets back up and we're able to get that. I may put that order now at 50 on Alibaba just to make sure that we do get it. I don't need to, now that I see like that kind of a move down, don't need to be exact on the outs. We're exact on the entries, man. We're sniping that up. But we've been a crazy sniper today. We got Google down here, which has been good. We sniped MRVL at 95 where we wanted it, and then again at 94.40 off of those lows. And we've just been really sort of, I don't want to say lucky, but you know, the trades have been holding, which is always nice, right? And when they hold, then it looks pretty easy. All right, Robinhood, you know, again, another name that a lot of traders love, and for good reason. Robinhood's been a great winner for obviously many of your accounts. And today, though, again, to rewind the clock, again, off the open, I said I do not like Robinhood. I did not like the fact that it was, and I said maybe we can get a 145 short if it pops. But I thought the numbers were great. I don't have to think that, they were great. And it wasn't popping. So guess what? Drop. So go back to 845 when I talked about Robinhood, and it was like, guys, I think this is a short. Now, thinking one thing is different than actually acting on it. And yeah, we didn't do anything with Robinhood except for stay away. And I think that sometimes that's the best thing. You have a great report, and the market doesn't reward you. This is what happens. And there it goes to the downside. And yeah, man, Robinhood, see you later. Good thing we didn't recommend that one, but it's a downside play there for Hood.
Yeah, that was, you know, sometimes if it's not moving at all, that can be the trap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it wasn't moving at all. I don't know anybody that likes that as a trader. It's like, well, if they don't seem to obviously want to dump it, and no one wants to buy an almost perfect report. It wasn't actually a perfect report. We'll get that out of the way. There were a couple metrics that missed out. Trading revenue, specifically crypto as well. Speaking of crypto, keep an eyeball on the 100K level. There's an outside chance IBIT gets there. We're down at 102 right now on Bitcoin. So there's always a decent chance that we get to that 100 level, which has at least for now held. For now. Is about the only thing I can tell you. The way the market is going, Nasdaq's headed right back into the lows. I want to go back to the only short that I actually had listed was SMCI. And so I got away from that one when it bounced off the low of the day, tried to pick it up under VWAP. The next available bounce, the same way I feel about Apple. I look up and Apple's at the high of the day again. This is at the low. Next available pop, I'm going to be shorting this one for sure. Someone just said in the chat, Hood 95 to 102. I feel like a lot of people are going to be not happy if it gets to 95 to 102. But if you put it into perspective, the 200 period's at 85. Well, that's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous if you were to break trend and get down to that price. That's the next support level if you break the trend line. So I would agree with you technically, but you haven't even broken the 50 period yet. It's down 8% today. I would trade it for an SSR bounce because it's exactly that kind of stock where if it gets 10% down, there's enough interest, lots of dip buyers, tons of volume that you look for that snap back up through. But it just hasn't happened. It's not 10% down. You would have to break the low of the day. That just reminds me. Snapchat. I wanted this one to break out. I remember we said about a half an hour ago or maybe an hour ago, hold VWAP, break out the top off VWAP. It's still trying to do the same thing. So I'm being as patient as possible, and Snapchat's trying to break this little slight upward trend that it has. We'll still like to break above this local high, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And if you like it short, it's breaking trend to the downside as we speak. Apple cannot pull back.
Yes,
it will not pull back.
Do not pull back.
Well, I want it to pull back because I want to get in.
Exactly. On the daily trade, who cares? Hopefully
on the long term, I hope it never pulls back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully it pulls back for opportunity for the day. But we do get a little bit of a pullback here in Google. Remember where our stop is, man, 283.50. So, you know, we'll lose 30 cents here on this break, which is fine. We didn't even reload. We reloaded about 1 unit on this one for 30-cent hit. I mean, if we take that, we take that, honestly, and that's fine by me. Like, you know, there's going to be some points that we get a little bit too aggressive, and maybe we have right now by even reloading this might be too aggressive. So if it does break, then it's gone, and that's fine. We'll give it up, and again, completely happy with the way we've here it comes. Completely happy with the way we've traded Google. Just maybe on this last move down, there we go. We went to the well potentially too many times, but can't believe that Marshawn Lynch died.
What are you talking about?
Someone just said, D. Westenmeyer, I can't believe that Marshawn died.
What are you talking
about? That can't be true. That's like my wife's favorite player, pretty much.
No way.
Marshawn Lynch.
No way that's true.
Okay, well, hopefully that's not true. All right, so there goes Google right now breaking lower into that level. Is it true?
I haven't seen anything on it.
Okay.
So.
Oh, no, Marshawn Kneeland.
Oh.
Well, None of us know who that is. I don't know.
Okay. For a second there. Look, obviously, any loss of life is.
Yeah, any loss of life, but I don't think we don't know who that is. Marshawn Nealon.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is. Okay, thanks to Steve Westermeyer for that. All right, so yeah, Google. There's the bleed for Google, man. So yeah, the market. Hydration Nation. The only thing that's saving you today, because the market is definitely a hurricane to the downside, getting into 25,000 again. So 25.3 right now, downside push. We gave up a little bit on that last take there for Google, but really nothing. We got out of MRVL there on that break lower. We only had 20% left of MRVL, 20, 40, 60, 80% out right there. And then Alibaba is now breaking completely. Like this market, I don't have anything in my ear about anything, but the market is breaking right now and getting a lot lower. So bye-bye as we continue. He would not know, D. Westermeyer, trust me, that one. Barely knows current roster. So, but there it comes to the downside is Alibaba 166.50. Nvidia also trying to break 190 right now to the downside. That's been a disaster of a play there. But yeah, lots of stuff happening right now.
Meta 620. Tesla
That's only at 620? I thought that would have broken.
I would have thought it would drop a little, because the last leg in the market, I would have thought would take this even lower, because it was already trending down, but it did just hit 620 bucks. Tesla 448, so it's a Cowboys player. It's weird. I feel like usually I know these types of things. You mentioned IONQ QBTS after the earnings report down 7% and continuing to tank. I might as well just cancel my order in SMCI. SMCI just got day 2. It just smoked the low of the day here. It's barely red because it had gapped up overnight. So it seems like it's really not that bad to the downside, but it has dropped pretty significantly. So looking like nobody, with the exception of Apple, is getting. Oh, nice. Fabian wants to see something about my.
Yeah, let's see. He saw mine.
Microphone there. Apple is actually catching another bid. It just does not want to dip. Like there's been not much red. Look, that's a wick at the top. Let it continue to fall with the market before even trying to get back into it. Yeah, I got out way too early. That much is absolutely obvious. And someone asked in the chat, like, what's your reentries for some longs? Trend breaks. You have got to, like, look at Circle. Like, you have got to break trend for an entry. But like, to me, I only want, when it's doing this, I only want trend break entries. Like, I'm willing to take a shot when it breaks the trend and play it into VWAP because I like the risk to reward. And then another question is, why do I like SSR? Because it's a positive expectancy trade the way it sets up. Like if a stock goes down 10%, I've simply found that when it hits the 10% down, if you can find a good like false break of a low at a big level or an even dollar level, the retracement to VWAP is solid risk to reward. And if the trend works right away, like if it starts uptrending on the 3-minute, it's like 70-80% of the time it gets to the volume weighted average price. So that's why I like the setup, because it's a good one. It worked almost instantly on pins in yesterday's trade, and Robinhood's an even better example of it. Like right away, it's rinsed through 26 and then right up 3%. And that was it. It was a very, very quick trade at the open. So I take those pretty much every chance I see on the right type of stock. Let's go to the desk and see what Adair has for us.
Here is our sector board, which, as you can expect, looking at the market, it's quite red. With the notable exception of energy minerals, lots of strength in the sector. MPC here, Marathon Petroleum, really strong over the past few days, and that streak is continuing. Right now, it's up almost 5%, 4.5%. But let's talk about where the weakness lies, which is, as you can see, very much in tech. Electronic technologies being balanced out by a decent upside move at Apple and RTX, but then you've got Qualcomm down in earnings, Arista Networks, day 2 earnings weakness, AMD to the downside, Nvidia to the downside. Technology services looking even weaker. Oracle, 4% downside move. Palantir, negative 3%, almost 4% here. CRM, down 6%. Adobe, down almost 3%. Microsoft, red. Meta, red. So lots of weakness in tech. Retail trade, another one with some weak points. Costco, down 2%. Amazon, down 2%. In terms of sectors that are kind of flatter or more strong, we have health technology. Eli Lilly continuing to try to buoy the sector. As I mentioned earlier, CBS has reported that we're going to get an announcement today from the Trump administration with regards to drug price cuts for Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, for specifically the weight loss drugs. There is an announcement for Trump scheduled at 11 a.m., so this could be what that is. But if I get more details, of course, I'll let you know. That sector, a little has some bright spots. Utilities has some bright spots. And as I mentioned already, energy minerals, definitely the best look of the day, guys. Back to you. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Okay. All right, so it'll be interesting to see about President Trump there, 11 o'clock. We saw Eli Lilly, be pretty much
The beast.
a beast again. As you know, good news is good news, and that's good news for Eli Lilly and for everybody in that. I mean, the drug pricing.
Mostly Eli Lilly.
Yeah, mostly Eli Lilly, but I'm saying for drug pricing for people there, you want to get lower prices for sure for the public. But okay. Other than that, man, not much else. Not trying to, like we said, I'm flat.
Apple
now.
just dropped.
Oh, did it? Okay, so that might be something.
This is the first significant dip in Apple, and I got to show you a 15-minute. That's no good. So it's trying to hold on to the prior resistance. 271 to 271.5 is kind of that target area on the 15-minute. So on a 15-minute chart, I'd like to see it hold on a 15-minute chart. Trying to be patient about it. This wouldn't be a trend break. This is more like a wait and see if it holds, and then opens the next candle in about 2 minutes. No, but this is holding.
Yeah, Apple.
What, Apple's holding? Someone just said Palantir.
Okay, that might be good.
Is Palantir holding? No, I just said Palantir a couple times. No, that's not holding. No, that would be a no. Palantir is absolutely not holding. Wow, that's hold up.
Holding period.
Hey.
Getting ready for the next episode. Hey. What is the next episode?
Smoke weed every day.
You do?
Don't do that. No,
okay,
don't
so
do that.
yeah, we are.
Drugs are bad, people.
Yeah. Well, nothing wrong with doing that.
There's certain like lines or lyrics that like if someone says the first part of it, you just don't even think about it. I just say the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like DMX, like some.
Yep.
If I say stop, drop,
yeah, shut them down.
Open up shop. Like, you can't not
Just
say
keep on
it. So
going
that's
there.
my bad.
Just depends if Obi's here or not. All right, so there we go to the upside as we continue to go. I'm going to try to reload a little bit of Google right here, but it's oh my gosh, thank you so much, Rob, in the building right now. Thank you, Rob, for that.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Rob. All right, cheers. Rob. Yeah, I made that mistake one time asking him about that. It was not well received.
Asking what?
He only goes by Rob. There's no Bob, there's no Robert, there's no Bobby, there's no anything like that. So shout out to Rob.
I wouldn't have tried to say anything else.
No, just, yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to do that. Yeah. Trust me, I don't want to get this guy upset by any stretch of imagination. All right, thank you, Rob, for that. We do have a nice little reload here.
Apple's built different.
Okay, Apple going still? All right, I'm gonna offer some more out. We did get some more long here on Google, just against that 280, 250. So that's where the stop is. Let's see if Google works now higher. We're in this name Google, hopefully for a long time, but I'm getting out. I'm already out of half of that reload. We're long right now at 70s. Nice little 50-cent win to the upside, but we're just sort of counting our chickens right now because, before the eggs hatch, because I don't know where this is going. Let's get some more out. There's another out at 20. Bang, that's a hell of a trade right there for me against that 280, 250. So let's go Google and see if we can get going. Trying to find, as Neil said, relative strength in names. Google's only down 0.4. It's not as strong as Apple. There's no way that's the case. But right now, Google trying to work for us back to the upside.
And that was the opposite of yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Alphabet was going up on that news, and Apple was going down, and now you get the literal opposite.
Bless
you, Russell. Oh wow, Russell with the. Hey, you know
Russell
what?
Throwing down.
Hard at work, but he just threw down. That was a legit.
He's on fire.
Like my sneezes apparently are rookie level, and I sneeze a lot.
Well, compared to that, yes.
Compared to that, no. Wow. So SMCI was one of the first things to break trend on this downward move. I got in and then immediately took out half because I'm like, it's SMCI. I prefer this one short. So that was the first thought is, well, I don't like it as much because I prefer it short. But also Tesla is doing so as well. So you can see Tesla, one trend line break. It's trying to break. I shouldn't even be connecting it from there, but I'm going to do it anyways. It's trying to break off the bottom. I think if this can get back through 450, then that would be the jam on Tesla. But I said Apple's built differently because it just flat out is right now. There was no consolidation on that last pullback. It just ripped. Like it bounced. It was no like sideways action. The market did a tiny bounce and it went $1 because that's what Apple seems to be doing. It's rather unhealthy. Well, a healthy pullback.
Market's just, well, an apple a day keeps
the doctor away.
You know, the stop losses away.
I legitimately, we get fruit free, like there's fruit with the breakfast in the morning. I shouldn't say free. We get fruit every single day.
I had a plum.
I still bring my own apple because I'm like, I need to have, I'm very picky about, I'll eat fruit or whatever, but I'm really picky about like fresh fruit. I'm like, if I have my own apple that I know is a good one, then I'm good to go, regardless of whatever we have here. I believe in that apple a day. I eat lots of fruit and vegetables, but the market is not healthy right now. Hopefully we get some trend breaks. Maybe Apple can actually carry the entire thing. Tesla's trying again to break a secondary trend, but if it doesn't work, I always stick to my rules. Like if it breaks that low, you always try to jump out of it. Do not want to get caught fighting it, because if you get one reversion trade today, like VWAP is literally $9 higher here.
Like Meta's at least holding 620, so at least there's something.
But that's the level on the daily chart.
I know, and I was just gonna say, like, if you're gonna find something, maybe on a daily, I don't think the bleeding is done in this market yet. So you haven't heard me buy anything. I mean, last thing we bought was Bitcoin, and that was at 108, and that's at 102 right now. That's looking foolish right there. But we'll wait to see what winds up happening. It's not down that far, but it's still down 25% from its highs, right? So be careful with Bitcoin. You can't be happy. Even in Ethereum, right? Where's Tom Lee? Just counting his money or counting your money? Whose money is he counting right now? Because there's Ethereum down 4% again today. So he's probably out of BMNR, all this kind of stuff. Let's wait to see what winds up happening. But look at this, man. What a disaster.
He actually made a comment.
Okay, good.
No, I
just want to hear what he has to say.
I don't know about his position. He made a comment about Bitcoin 94,000 he thought was next.
Yeah. Okay. Good guy. No, I mean, we can throw out a lot of things.
It was just a tweet. I didn't even read the whole thing. I saw his name and I saw the number. That's about all I
feel bad for people that got absolutely rinsed in all of this, because you follow these guys thinking that what they're saying actually makes sense, and then it's just like whap right down to the downside. But we did see Circle as well, CRCL, make a move today as well. Yeah. Like people were asking us yesterday, would you buy Circle? And we were like, no, because we're at this breaking point. I just hit this plus sign. What does that even do? Oh, okay. Add stocks. We're at this breaking spot right here.
I wouldn't never.
So there it goes. I like USDC actually. I like what it stands for and what it does for the crypto space, giving us an opportunity to sit in cash while these kind of things happen and earn a yield on that USDC as well. So I think Circle is in for something here. And I like the stock. I like to do a little bit more work on it before I sit there and be like, I really like Circle. But right now for crypto, I'm just sitting on what I own already, which is still good. I mean, obviously, hopefully most traders are still well in the money on their crypto, but like 102 is not a great level. We'd like to see it, get back above that 108 in my opinion, and then see a little bit higher, because if he's going to say 94 is next, that's another 10%, to the downside from where we are. So I
actually think support's on the chart. It's at 88 to 91.
Right. I mean, we can all look at charts.
I actually disagree with where he thinks the bottom is, but I'm buying it either way.
Yeah.
Like
that would be a good level.
I'm sitting in front of 91 for a dip buy, and I'll show you why in a quick little second. Tesla, that's that aggressive, whatever. He's using the drill there. It is ridiculously high pitched, and it's like that exact pitch that I love so much. No, it's all good, Russell. So Tesla just grabbed the low, and then immediately retook the trend. I should always follow my rule. You should only get half or a third in until it closes above the trend line, which I broke. So this time I'll only get a third in. But the market is still searching for a bottom. We are pretty much at the overnight 2 days ago, like the actual low here, the overnight low, which is like 25.2 on the Nasdaq. So you're at a bit of a support spot. Apple is still doing ridiculous Apple things. This is Apple up 1%. Like imagine a world where the market has been bleeding all morning and Apple is just straight up shot trend. It's such a good piece of news for them. And mostly because they get how much, correct me if I'm wrong, they're gonna get, what is it? It's 20 billion a year for Google Chrome, right? And so then they're going to only pay 1 billion back a year for Gemini.
Oh, I love Apple. I mean, as soon as we heard that news, man, I just bought whatever. It doesn't matter. But I did add a pretty decent spot there yesterday on Apple. I just like the news. I mean, it was down today. It's it's just got going now, so that's nice. Like today's going to be a good day. I'm going to take 167 break long here on Alibaba if that winds up happening. We made money on Alibaba, it was good, but it did break lower below 167, so we did get out. So now we're going to wait for it to get back up there to the upside. That's going to be a trade for us, hopefully at some point here today. If it does break, we only now have 8 minutes left until we go over to the midday. So if it doesn't break before then, I'm going to get out. I'm not going to get in, and I'll just cancel the order and see what winds up happening. I don't want to leave an order here pending for the break if I'm not sitting here. So last thing you want to do is see it break and then, you know, tank off of that news, right? Or not news, but off the market, making the move down. I still really like Google and BABA, but we can't hold them through this much move. So we've given back like 30% of our day or so trying to chase
there's the mic.
BLNN. New. Oh, that's what it is. Billion to one, it's called. BLN. It's billion to one. What is that? What is it? LN? Yeah, billion to one. Here it is. All right. So this is about what? $92 is the tap on billion.
It's only 200. It's a $270 million IPO. That's not very big. Billion to one. You said BLLN, right?
BLLN.
I wanted to see if I could get the tap. What's the tap?
92.50.
What was the actual issue price? I can't find it.
But I do want to try to find out. We're going to look for that, and we're going to try to figure out what's for lunch.
Well, $60.
All right. Today is actually pretty good. It's a land animal, which is nice. Although we've had a couple chicken dinner winners on there. Both Joseph and Neil are incorrect with their call of chicken today, because today, well appropriate, it is football. But we've got beef chili, which should be okay, with Mexican street corn and garlic bread, with toppings of tomato, sour cream, green onions, cheese, and I don't prefer cilantro, and cilantro. So beef chili, Mexican street corn, garlic bread. Of course, we will have something different than that, as we just have that salad.
I will have the garlic bread for sure, though.
Yeah, so hopefully the garlic bread is nice and I like it a little bit crispy on the top. We'll see how that's coming there as well. And the Mexican street corn has actually been pretty good. It's like a little side salad there. And we'll see how that works. But that is what's for lunch today. Alibaba, I'm going to cancel that order. Even if it does get going right now, well, or let's just keep it in case it does rip. We still have 5 more minutes before we're out of here. Let's go over to Adara.
Here's the US dollar, and it looks like we are not able to hold above 100. Yesterday, we did close slightly red with a slightly top wicking candle. Now, again, as mentioned, we're back below 100. So let's see how the US dollar fares. That being said, this uptrend still very much in full force. Now, this week we did have some economic data throughout the week, and we get even more tomorrow. The University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment print will come out at 10. That being said, government shutdown still happening, so other economic data we're still not likely going to see it until we get some resolution on that. Now let's talk here about Fed speak. You can find this fun visual on X at TTV Research. I just posted it because we're just about to start getting Fed speakers in 5 minutes, starting with Fed Barr. He is on the Board of Governors. We'll also get Fed's Williams at the same time. 12 p.m. we get Fed's Hammock. At 3:30 p.m., Fed's Waller, who, by the way, is in the running for Fed chair and has said publicly that he'll take the position if Trump offers it to him. Then we've got Fed's Paulson at 4:30 p.m., and we're capping off the day with Fed's Muslim at 5:30. So that is 6 Fed speakers in roughly 6 hours. Definitely, if you want to see who's speaking when, check this out on X at TTV Research. I do have to mention as well, the Associated Press stream is now open for Trump's announcement at 11 a.m. The title of the stream is Trump makes an announcement on weight loss drug prices. Again, I have not seen any confirmation that that is what it's going to be from the White House, but either way, that's what we're expecting it to be. I will be watching that stream and giving you guys live coverage, so don't go anywhere. Join us during the midday with Joe and Sharif. Back to you.
All right, yeah, so that should be fun. We already sort of know what's going on there, and you see Eli Lilly already sort of reacting, but it's actually back down. I mean, can't fight the market too much there, down to 916 and near the tops now, as Eli Lilly's had a great 5 or 6 days right here.
You know what someone asked in the chat, and I forgot to respond to this? Someone said, when can you expect a Supreme Court decision with regards to the tariffs? And the answer to that is maybe the end of the year. It's not happening anytime soon. It's just not. But that's not the way that it works. Like, Supreme Court does not act that fast. So it'll be a very long time before we actually see anything. And The other thing to keep in mind is
Wait a minute, a government agency or whatever is not working that fast?
No, but even if they shoot it down, there's still other avenues to reinstate the tariffs. Like there's other ways that they could stay on. So it's not even.
The shutdown went up. 48 days now.
I was wrong about that. I actually thought after these recent elections, and the fact that it broke a new record, that those two, I guess, like feathers in the cap, might actually lead to a deal. But I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, the decisions come next year during the summer, someone just said. I don't know if it's that late. I saw this morning someone saying optimistically by the end of the year. That's like a couple of months. If it takes 8 months, I suppose that's possible too.
I feel like the market's not really trading on anything like that anymore.
No, we don't care about the shutdown.
Like we got that deal from China. The Nasdaq is getting crushed this week.
Earnings, AI, that's what matters.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to care overly as much about tariffs as we used to maybe 6 months ago when we were in there. So yeah, okay, 1057 and change. We had Oscar reporting today. Not a great day for anything to report. They're still up 4% though, looking to break a little bit lower. We had Duolingo, come up with their report today. They're getting smoked down 30%. That's not a good one. Bad one actually for Duolingo. We had a good. We didn't talk about Snapchat right there, but just like that, wiping away some of those gains as we went up to 860, 880, now back into 820 for the snapped one right there. And yeah, that's not great for Snapchat. What are you saying there about your phone vibrating over there? What's up, Bart Simpson? The wife just made me get my phone out of bedroom. It vibrates every time you take 5%. Okay, nice, Bart. Hopefully you're vibrating a lot. Hopefully it's not minus 5%. You get like a ringtone or something like that. But there's a nice move down. Oh, I was going to say a stock that we haven't looked at here today, but that's been pretty strong, holding levels. And it's not that it's been strong. Nothing's been strong. But Micron right here at 236 could be something. So just holding out right now. It's down to 235. Okay, well, now it's... So for some reason, Micron just gapped 50 cents or whatever on our charts, but there's the break of Micron. So yeah, scratch that. I was gonna say it looks like it's holding 236 right into here. This is a 5-minute chart where we had yesterday's levels, and I just thought there was a good chance to hold in and around here. But now you gotta look at like this 234 as we look to get lower. Fed's Barr, Williams, and of course, President Trump all speaking at 11. So this market still has a lot to go.
Oh, definitely has a lot to go. And the bleed is on. Tesla just continues to fall. It just broke the low of the day and is now headed to that 442 level. Don't think there's anything else in sight. And I know what I said about this thing earlier, but I made a comment. I was like, oh, it's a dangerous to short that Ferg to another trader. I actually saw the tape on it, and I actually joined this trade. So I am in this one. Someone asked about it earlier, and it's actually moving enough. I cannot not take it, essentially. Like, this is essentially one of these things. I trade, a lot of the times I will treat these a lot the same way, where I'll look for like trend breaks. Fundamentally, risk-free is at about 43.8. Depending on the calculation on this deal, it's a 45 cash deal. And then 43.6 to 43.8. Those are the two numbers I come up with. Very vague on when it was going to close, but midpoint of next year. So I'm actually short this one off the high. I saw a double top. I saw a trend break. I started, scalp. And then it's more or less the same thing, only I'm not shooting for VWAP on this. Solid but not spectacular volume with this bad boy. And it's now 11 o'clock, and Apple is still dipping, but it's not yet, it's nowhere near VWAP. It's nowhere near that 71 to 71 half zone that I kind of like for prior highs, but it is the strongest name in the market. At least that's not some kind of crazy small capper. So if you're looking for support, the market's at it. This one has been the best buy. It is all about that that Gemini headline.
Shout out to Caleb over here. Thank you for your kind words, man. You started an account just 3 weeks ago. You started with 5 bills. You just wired $2,000. That's a hot dog kind of a trade there. Go grab some glizzies there and celebrate. Hopefully you've had some great trades on board. We don't have a red name today on the account. Well, IONQ is going to be red, but that's more like paying fees right there. But so far so good. BABA, Google, IONQ, and MRVL leads the way for me. And it's 101 right now. Yeah, some good trading. All right, good job here today. Let's go get some of that beef chili at some point and see how that's tasting. There it is. Charlie also up 1.5.
More excited for the garlic bread at this point.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if the garlic bread can make a comeback here. All right, Feds Barr speaking, Trump speaking, Williams speaking, and Sharif and Joe speaking right about now.